He could have thrown more.
Chase P. in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. I do find it interesting that you would watch a team lose 65-7 in a championship game and think, I need that guy to fix my offense, end quote. That was TCU last year against Georgia.
Yeah, but again, people jump quickly on board. You saw the Sean McVay tree, the Lincoln Riley tree when it comes to offense, his brother. And look, TCU's offense was really good last year up until Georgia.
Two quick things here. Forrester, get that I told you about the messy security guard. Get that video. We had a lot of stars were watching this last night. But first, let me tell you, my Stranger Things today when I look at the point spreads. Nebraska, do they open up as a big favorite against Colorado, and it's been betted all the way over the other side?
Was 7.5.
It was 7.5. That's a big favorite.
But I mean, there was zero expectation for Colorado.
Yeah. I mean, but it was 7.5 like when it came out this week, right?
Oh, I don't think it was that big.
No.
Okay.
It was 7.5 until the end of the game Saturday with TCU.
I think
because I looked at covers today. That website
they've got it jacked up.
Okay, and it flips around now. Colorado's a betting favorite there. Miami, not as big of an underdog to Texas A&M as I thought they were going to be. Cincinnati getting a touchdown and a hook on the road at Pitt. I saw earlier at mybookie.ag, and then Texas State. That team getting double digits.
Yeah, but are you believing in TJ Finley 2 straight weeks?
No, but I saw UTSA didn't look like Frank Harris. Nope. It didn't look like UTSA.
No, but you take away one of his turnovers, they win that game. And I will guarantee you there's not another game this year he throws 3 picks.
Okay, tell me about Hemphill, and then I got this video I want to show you because I pointed this out last week.
For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, make the phone call that I've made way too many times. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemphill Services. The team can service all makes and models. Remember, 0% for 60 months for qualified customers, plus free 10-year labor warranty when you mention the next round. 205-229-2090 or online hemphillservices.com.
Okay, I don't have the guy's name. The security guard for Lionel Messi in Los Angeles last night, packed place. Remember, he's a former Navy SEAL that leads a 50-team security people that takes care of Lionel Messi and his entire family 24 hours a day. But during the games, he walks up and down the sideline, so he's even with Messi no matter where Messi's running on the field. And you think Klubnik chased somebody down last night. Watch this. Fan comes running on the field after Messi, and there's the security guard times it perfectly, gets there right when he gets to Messi, calms him down, puts a bear hug on him, walks him over and lets security take care of him. The old boy gets there in time, and if needed be, I think could have taken him out.
Could have crushed him, could have driven him into the ground, blindside, probably buckled a shoulder, done some serious damage. He went high on it.
Yeah.
Could have gone right to the chest and taken that guy apart.
Yeah, but got to Messi doing his job. I mean, you got to be on a swivel.
I was a little confused the first time I saw the video because the guy's wearing a Messi jersey, and I'm like, oh, my God, he's got the wrong guy. What are they doing with Messi? And then I realized, oh, okay, that's the other guy. Gotcha.
Yeah. Good guy, good security guy to have. I'd like to have that kind of protection.
No doubt.
He'd be bored as hell, though. Nobody's after me.
Yeah, well, stay away.
One more thought, Brownie. What'd you have?
Well, I want to give a shout-out to a frequent guest of ours and a guy that used to do a weekly hit with us for several years talking NFL. Chris Mortensen has announced his retirement. We love Mort. He's always been great to us, one of the nicest guys, served our country in the military, has covered the NFL for 33 years, and announces that he made the decision after the draft in April to step away from ESPN and focus more on his health and family and faith, and announces his retirement today. Obviously, he has battled cancer and has battled it very, very bravely. And I hope this time away continues to heal him. But shout out to Mort, one of the best.
He says it's not a classic retirement. I'll still be here talking ball. It's just time. God bless you all from Mort there.
I think we all respect and love Mort.
Oh, yeah.
And chances are good you'll see him at Protective Stadium.
That's right. Watching his son call plays for the Blazers.
UAB on the road at Georgia Southern. And if UAB beats Georgia Southern on the road this week, we'll be giving number 13, our new employee, EG, hell as she stepped out on that Georgia Southern limb in week number 1 here on the show. All right, a lot coming up on the Disrupt the Media platform a little bit later on. We're about to get a new ball coming up.
That's right, with Luke and Bill.
What else have we got today? Anything else?
DJ football debuts coming up later on. A little NFL talk with Daniel Jeremiah, the NFL Network.
Original roundtable.
Yeah, all that over on Disrupt the Media YouTube channel. You know how to do it. You go over there, you subscribe, you like, you set the alerts, you do all that stuff. And we're back here live again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live show now as we go on a Wednesday, and so much to get to, including our sneaky good games coming up a little bit later on. Friend of the show, Chris Doering, who I don't think we've seen since SEC Media Days in Nashville, is back on the show at 10 o'clock.
Correct, Jimmy.
In fact, the last time I think I saw Doering, he was sprinting down Broadway.
Shirtless.
I wasn't going to bring that into the conversation, but
he was running pass routes, technically.
I sent him because I was supposed to stay a couple of nights more, and he was asking me where I was, and I was like, dude, I had to tap out. I was like, ultra respect for you, though.
yeah.
Like, you are for me to say you're next level, you are next level.
Because he flips it around. They did mornings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Burns was saying. He was in makeup at like 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, makeup.
Who needs it? Chris Doering doesn't need makeup.
Oh, come on.
Good
Dunaway
looking
used
guy.
to shop at Sephora. Don't look like that.
I was a platinum card member at Sephora. Elijah McAllister, our NIL deal with Auburn, he's here. Linebacker's not getting a lot of love. If you watched the Village Vice last night, that was one of the.
Did they break down film?
2 days ago, they didn't break down film. It's interesting. They sat there and did a conversation about who you want to see more of and who needs to step up a little bit.
Right.
And Little T and Forrester have sent out some of those clips from that. But one of my takeaways from the Village Vice was, as they were sitting there, they were like, the linebackers got to play a little bit better. There's some talented guys there, but they've got to be better moving forward. Maybe starting this weekend at Cal.
Well, I definitely think it starts this weekend at Cal because Cal's got a pretty good running back, it appears. Jaden Ott, if you watched him against North Texas, which I did a little bit because I had that game in the upset alert and I was put out of my misery pretty quick, he had a game against Texas. I talked with Luke and Bill about him yesterday on Ball. You can go get Ball at Disrupt the Media on YouTube and wherever you get your audio podcast for us. And Luke and Bill had him in a game last year, and he's like, hey, that's not a flash in the pan. This guy's a for real good running back.
Well, and watching him against North Texas, I mean, dude was physical. And you look at the 140 yards that Auburn gave up to UMass on the ground.
Right.
And Cal's coming off 357 on the road in Denton, and 188 of those R.J. Knott. I mean, that's going to be, missed tackles in this game is going to be something to really, really watch out for. And obviously at the quarterback position, it's a good thing Peyton Thorne's got a lot of experience. I don't think there's going to be much of an intimidating atmosphere in Berkeley.
No, that's the other thing Luke and Bill talked about. And Dunaway likes to bring this up sometimes, and you're not wrong when you bring it up.
Oh, well, the show's off to a great start then.
Dunaway likes to bring this up sometimes. The more difficult places to play, and I got to branch off this. Sometimes the more difficult places to play are not.
Dunaway makes a good point, but I'm going to make it better.
No. Tyler
it's a better
Siskey.
point.
Tyler Siskey confirmed your point, and Tyler with McCready and Siskey. You can get that also at Disrupt the Media 3 days a week. They do a great job, great live show, 2:00 talking college football. But Tyler was on the staff in Tuscaloosa with Nick Saban. He was on the staff in Oxford with Matt Luke. And he said two of the toughest places in the SEC to play are at Missouri and at Arkansas.
Yep.
And you would look at that and you would say, you're out of your mind.
I believe at Arkansas. The Missouri surprises
But his
me.
thing about Missouri is it's just a weird atmosphere.
The reflection off the rocks.
I mean, you're not used to that type of stadium in the Southeastern Conference.
Zero intensity.
No intensity. You got to create your own intensity. There's no crowd to feed off of. It's a weird travel to Columbia, Missouri. And that's what Luke and Bill was saying. He's like, teams struggle going to Cal because it's like a library in there. There's no noise. It's hard to get there. Even though it's in Berkeley, you would think it'd be easy. It's not. It's hard to get there.
And they got to sit around all day in that hotel and flip it around and BYOG.
Drink out of paper straws.
You got to bring your own guts.
And Luke and Bill compared it. He's like, you watch Texas Tech at Wyoming. He goes, Texas Tech lost intensity in that game. You know why? Because Wyoming's the same way. He said it's a hard place to play. He told a great story on Ball about when his dad was the San Diego State coach and Marshall Faulk was their running back. Go listen to it. It's a fantastic story about their trip to Wyoming. And that's a weird place to play. But
how many carries did Marshall get? Did he say?
He didn't, but it's a funny story.
I used to remember Marshall Faulk more so on Thursday nights back in my college days, watching him carry it like 35 times and rush for 280 yards and 5 touchdowns. And those totals were like 75 way back in the day.
Yeah, that was the only job, watching offensive play callers back in those days when you had a Falk or a Bo Jackson or Herschel Walker. You always thought, man, if there's one job I could do sick or hungover or distracted, it would be an old school offensive coordinator. Like, you sit there and you go, let's the right side Marshall Falk. Let's go to the right side Marshall Falk.
I mean, it really wasn't much of a decision.
Let's hand it to Marshall Falk.
It's going to be third and long if I'm throwing, right?
By the way,
Vince Dooley gets all this credit for a national championship. What was the play call?
Yeah, no offense to Lane Kiffin. I thought he was a great play caller, but 2015 had to be the simplest year for him late
Just
in the
give
year.
it to Derek.
3rd and 11?
All right, Derek.
Draw play.
We'll go for 4th and 2 if we have to.
So we've talked to a million people that are obviously going to Tuscaloosa, including you, but I wonder how many people are going out to Berkeley. That's like, if you've got the resources, that would be a fun trip, I would think.
My buddy Johnny Orr played a little golf with him yesterday, and about hole 4, he says, I'm going to the game. And I was like, in Berkeley? And he's like, oh, yeah, me, the wife, the son, and the son's girlfriend, they're sophomores at Auburn. We're going to the game. And I said, what about little Mary Abney? She's a freshman at Auburn this year. And she's like, oh, she's going to go to the road game at Texas A&M. She thought that'd be a better game. I told them they could go to one road game. My son took Berkeley, and she said she wanted to go to the College Station game because she thought it'd be a better game.
Is Johnny O adopting anybody?
I remember talking to some people way back at the kickoff party that were already planning. I think the Giants are in town, so they're going to go to a Giants game and then do all that. And I think they were taking an NFL game in on Saturday. I don't know if it's back in Vegas with the Raiders or if San Francisco's at home on Sunday, I should say.
It may be embarrassingly close for Cal on the number of Auburn fans versus Cal fans.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of interest to Cal football out there.
I mean, what would you think? 6,000 Cal fans, maybe?
I don't know. Duke surprised me the other night.
Yeah, but that was still more Clemson fans.
You think it was more still?
Yeah. It was more Clemson, but I think Duke is a little excited about football.
When Duke would make a big play, the crowd was louder than I would have thought.
Yeah,
honestly.
You could hear them.
And Clemson didn't make many big plays, so you really couldn't hear them.
If you guys had the opportunity, car service to Tuscaloosa this weekend, or you get private jet to Berkeley, you can take your pick.
Well, car service to Tuscaloosa, Bama, Texas is a more meaningful game than Auburn Cal, and it's going to be a better atmosphere.
I get that. I think it's interesting to go to these stadiums that you never have an opportunity to go to.
Two couples.
Corvallis or...
Oh, it's easy. Tuscaloosa.
Pullman.
Tuscaloosa. Two couples that I go to church with. They're empty nesters. Shout out Shades Mountain Baptist. They are going out to the game, and then after the game, they're doing the wine country and the state, some of the national parks out there. I think you'll see a lot of Auburn fans out there, just because there's so much to do in addition to going to the game.
And I will safely say, the way Hugh's been talking, there is a good chance Auburn will never play in Berkeley ever again. Rockstar, give me cut number 4 and then cut number 5. Here's Hugh Freeze earlier this week. The fans, some of them, excited about going to Berkeley. Auburn's head coach, not excited about going to Berkeley. Hey, and by the way, very early on the job, not afraid to tell the administrators who booked this thing, wouldn't have happened if I'd been the head coach.
Let's make this a one and done.
Here's Hugh Freeze.
That's one of the challenges I have for me is to embrace it because I don't like it. I don't like scheduling teams on the West Coast. I just soon play somebody over here on the East Coast, but it was done. And so me complaining or not embracing it is not the proper response. And so I haven't, the only one I've done is BYU. It was a challenge, and this one is even further and another time zone. I think it creates some challenges, but this will be a good test for all of us, coaches, training staff, nutritionists, strength staff, support staff, players. How do we handle, if things are a little uncomfortable or it's not exactly the way we want it? And I'm speaking to myself as much as anyone, and you've got to play a really good football team. And at their place, when our body times are 9:30 or 10 at night and we're kicking it off. And so all of that's going to be a challenge, but you know what? That's what life is.
Yeah, Rockstar, you know what? That's why we work in the summertime.
Boy, in the spring, in the summertime, for reasons like this.
Hey, are they going to be wrestling them angels out there on the West Coast?
They're going to be older angels.
His biggest challenge, no joke, and this is no joke. His biggest challenge is Saturday.
Yeah.
Is being in a hotel until 9:30. Till 9:30 kick. So you leave the hotel probably what 6:30. I mean, that's a lot of time to be.
You would say
filling time.
Just lay around. You guys watch
No,
game
that
day
makes
and
it
watch the
worse.
game.
Yeah.
But if I ever ask you guys, alcohol aside, if I ever asked you guys to watch football all day long and at 9:30, hey, let's go and be at our athletic peak performance after lounging around all day, it's hard to do. It's hard to play your best at that point.
Well, yeah, I do think the clock. I think sitting around is going to be a big deal for this team. I think it's going to be a great game to begin with. There's a reason this number's down to 5.
Down to 5.
Hugh Freeze, though, at least we've got an entertaining front man for Auburn. I mean, how long has it been? It's been since Tuberville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuberville wasn't as honest and as good as this guy.
No, Freeze is the best
It's
I've
not
seen.
a political statement, but that's just a fact. This guy
He knows how to talk.
is an open book, too. It seems like he speaks his mind, at least so far in this first year. The other coach is Justin Wilcox, SEC ties through Tennessee, a guy who we always thought would leave Cal and come back into this conference at some point, but he hasn't done that. He stayed with Cal. It's a big deal for a Pac-12 school to get an SEC team to actually come there. Here's Justin Wilcox.
You just talk about what it means to have an SEC team come to play at your place, and these teams don't travel out here very often. In fact, Hugh Freeze yesterday said that he hates traveling, and my guess is he didn't schedule this game, so he probably wouldn't do it again. But what's it mean for you guys to have a chance to have an SEC team, playing at your place?
Oh, it's great. I think it's the first game ever between Auburn and Cal, so we're excited to be a part of it. Storied tradition there at Auburn. Storied conference tradition, and I think it'd be great for our fans and players. I know they're looking forward to it, and what's most important though for us is, preparing and having a great week of practice and preparation. That's going to be the most important thing, and I got a ton of respect for them. They're well coached. They are a very talented team, so we're looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah, you know what that is? That's a useless soundbite right there. Can you give it to me one more time?
Well, why you do this? Watch. I think you were talking about he wanted to get back to the SEC. He wants to get the hell out of Cal. I think he's doing Morse code with his eyes. Watch.
I also think he's playing tic-tac-toe.
He's got him a pen out.
When you're answering a question and you're giving coach speak, but you're also writing something, you're so programmed you can write something else while saying other words.
Total coach speak.
And then you play with the pen while sending Morse code with your eyes. Very talented, Justin Wilcox. He's a 3-tool guy.
SEC team come to play at your place, and these teams don't travel out here very often.
He is checked
In
out
fact, Hugh Freeze yesterday said that he hates traveling, and my guess is he didn't schedule this game, so he probably wouldn't do it again. But what's it mean for you guys to have a chance to have an SEC team, playing at your place?
Oh, it's great. I think it's the first game ever between Auburn and Cal, so
I
we're
can't believe
we're
you put the
excited
X
to
right
be a
there.
part of it.
I'll put the O right there.
Storied tradition there at Auburn. Storied conference tradition, and I think it'd be great for our fans and players. I know they're looking forward to it, and what's most
Somebody's at the
important
door.
though for us is
It's a guy checking out.
preparing and having a great week of practice and preparation. That's going to be the most important thing. And
His thought was
got
when
a
he
ton of
heard that
respect for
tone
them.
was,
They're well coached.
God, I wish that was
They're
me signing off.
I know.
Do you
So
think that is like a Cal stand up in front of like the Hampton Inn elevators, like in the lobby?
Can I take it one step further? How low rent Cal's program is? They don't even have a drink deal. He's got a freaking Kirkland, a bottle of water, like they went to Costco and got his water for
Or
him.
a sponsor. on
Or a
the gr-
sponsor, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what a low rent program Cal is.
We'd have 7 logos
No
on that
doubt.
Cal thing back there, including our friends,
Speaking of which,
including our friends at Bromberg's.
Bromberg's family owned and operated since 1836. They are your diamond specialists. If you're thinking about popping the question this season, you need to go see our friends at Bromberg's. 2 locations, Mountain Brook and the Summit. Nothing like giving or getting that silver box from our friends at Bromberg's. For more information, brombergs.com.
Chase says, we had a great week of practice. Is the only thing he missed, and then he doubles back before it's over with. He goes, oh, he checked that box too.
That's right. I had to come back to that one.
It was the bingo card of Coach's cliche. Before this turns into a thing on the back row, Forrester. Can I get Forrester's microphone? It's not a shot at you putting that in on the shot sheet here. Forrester comes up with all of our great sound. That was not a shot. It was just he.
Sometimes you miss, man.
He let you down. Yeah.
No. That went exactly how I hoped it would.
All right,
Okay,
there you go.
yeah.
Yeah, Scott knows us.
He
He
knows
knows me up that he was writing while he was giving the answer.
He knows the show. He knows the show.
Of course
there
he
you go.
does.
I do think they're better than advertised, though.
Hey, that guy's a better coach than his record shows.
Oh, I agree with that,
He's
too.
got a overall losing record, and his record within the Pac-12 is not good at all. But he's a better coach. He's just at a crap job.
Yeah, he's trying to win the Kentucky Derby on the goat that's sitting behind Deion and Saban's desk on an Aflac commercial.
In fact, I am willing to say he's probably, I'm going to say this, I think he's probably at the least committed Pac-12 school.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I mean, I haven't seen budget numbers. Maybe if I saw budget numbers, I was way off on that one. But even then, like Washington State, their budget's probably small. But I view them as more committed to football than Cal.
Yeah. All right, listen, it's
Oregon State certainly is. They just redid their stadium. They're not going to have a conference.
true poll question brought to you by our friends at Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Taylor, if you'll throw this out. If they're bigger crowd in Berkeley Saturday, Cal football game or the protest in the town square against plastic straws?
I mean, you're going to get more people that are going to flood in from the hills that will bitch about the plastic straw. I've never understood the paper straw.
Oh, the paper straw's awful.
Shower thought this week on The Hustle. It was Friday, actually. I wrote it down, but I didn't bring it up. We're all environmentalists until we get a soggy straw.
Yep.
And then we're like, give me that plastic straw.
So I don't like a straw to begin with. I go away from the
I
straw.
don't use it when I have to.
I was told by the dentist yesterday, you've got to start drinking your red wine out of a straw.
Oh, wait a second.
Yeah,
I mean, this is not a trailer park.
I've got these temps, and she's like, within 3 or 4 weeks, she's like, you've crushed these things. You've got to.
That's a lot of red wine, Lance.
No, it's just a lot of acidity in the red wine.
But here's the thing. Here is my new thing at restaurants that drives me crazy. It's the only thing that drives me to a straw. Okay, when they bring the tray of drinks out, and the server grabs the rim of my glass and hands it to me. Yeah. That's when I'm like, I got to go straw now. Those grimy paws. I mean, that's where I'm going to drink the drink. Now,
chances are good back in the back.
Probably, but I don't see it.
Shoveled their hands in there and filled up the cup.
But a server, I would like to see my server grab where I'm going to grab and put it on the table.
They're in the weeds, Brown.
Well, I'm sorry.
I served for years. Let me ask you this. Do you ever get because you're a big sweet tea guy.
Oh, I never drink sweet tea.
Or unsweet tea.
Well, if I drink tea, I drink unsweet tea with Splenda. Yeah, okay, go
do
ahead.
you ever do it with a lemon?
No, I do not like it.
Because we grab those lemons out.
Oh, that's supposed to be the dirtiest thing in a restaurant.
Yeah, you act like we've never seen you order tea before. We've seen you order tea quite a bit over the years.
It just depends on what I'm eating.
I heard you call somebody sweetie.
I have called somebody sweetie.
No, when you got your tea refilled.
Thanks, sweetie.
Yep.
I've done that. I'm not going to lie. I'm a
Charles-
good Southern boy.
Now, Charlesville has found a happy medium. She uses the silicone reusable straws. Maggie does too, but I just don't suck good enough to make those work. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you got to keep practicing.
I've heard that about you.
Yeah, practice makes perfect.
I don't know. I don't get a lock on them.
I bought a ton of plastic straws at my house.
Our friends
I
at
keep 'em
Hemp
there.
Hill, before we make one more point here, on the NFL, which opens up tomorrow night. Tell us about our friends at Hemp Hill.
Right now, 0% for 60 months for qualified customers, plus free 10-year labor warranty. When you mention the next round, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure that HVAC unit ready to keep up with this changing weather. I think it's still going to be in the 90s today. Call them today for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Hemp Hill Services, hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Rockstar cut number 9. We start the NFL season tomorrow night, Lions and Chiefs. And by the way, that number is getting smaller.
Well, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Two reasons.
Got an injury.
Travis Kelce?
Yep.
Yeah. Kelsey's not going to play.
What's the second reason?
Chris Jones, the holdout. I mean, you got your best defensive player and your best offensive player outside of Mahomes not playing in this game. And I was telling Brown this is the first time I've ever seen the number literally went from 6.5 yesterday to 5 today because of Kelsey. And he's one of the few non-quarterbacks that can move an NFL line a point and a half.
Yeah, you always told me it was quarterbacks only that move a line that much. You've said it on the show for 13 years. It has moved in this game tomorrow night, Lions and Chiefs, because of Kelsey and Chris Jones not being there. But some of that is the fact that their receivers are not as dynamic as some other championship receivers. They rely so much on him in the passing game, right?
Yeah, I mean, Valdez-Scantling is your leading career receiver on that receiving corps now. You've got guys like Kadarius Toney. You've got Sky Moore. I mean, you just don't have big names. So you really wonder, as good as Mahomes is, and look, Brady was able to get away with it for years in New England. It's not like he had a slew of great receivers.
Yeah, he did when he got to Tampa. Here's Daniel Jeremiah with Brownie every week on the Disrupt the Media YouTube channel. you get DJ football, where it's a chance to talk some NFL here. In DJ and Brown discussing here one of the rookies to keep an eye on this year. This may surprise you a little bit. Here's DJ football.
And the other one who's I drafted all my fantasy leagues because of what I've heard coming out of there was Tank Bigsby, who I liked a lot at Auburn.
Oh, wow.
Has had a great camp. And I would not be surprised if at the end of the year, as much ability as Travis Etienne has, I think Bigsby's a better runner. If Bigsby ended up having more stats and a better year than Etienne, I would not be surprised.
Wow, that's a big statement because Etienne was so good for them last year.
I think Bigsby can handle more touches. I think he gives them more physicality. And I think once you get inside the 10, I think his running style actually is going to be more conducive than Etienne's get that thing in.
Wow, Brown.
That's a big statement. I mean, when DJ says I drafted him on my fantasy team, that got my attention.
I wanted to draft him late because I took Etienne early.
Did little T take him?
Probably. I mean, she took every Auburn Tiger available.
I don't remember him going.
Oh, no,
he
Tank
went.
Bigsby got drafted.
Yeah, because I was eyeballing him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought that was really interesting because didn't you think Etienne was pretty good for them last
By the way, it wouldn't surprise me right now if you said, Jim, you drafted him.
No, it's such a blur.
I mean,
Etienne was pretty good for them last year.
Dude, he had 14 touchdowns and 1,500 total yards.
I know, and there's DJ
he's
saying,
really good.
actually, I think Bigsby will be the better back. But as I pointed out to him, as I pointed out to DJ, and I don't have to point it out to him, he studied the film, but Jim, as I brought up, our vision of Tank Bigsby is behind a pretty crappy offensive line and some really challenged offenses. I mean, that's what we saw Tank Bigsby play at Auburn, right?
Yep.
He's going to be one of those guys that has a better pro career than college career.
Yeah, and Chase says it best. Happy for Tank being criminally underused.
There's no doubt.
May help him in the NFL. Yeah, I mean, Tank is a player.
Yeah, he'll have a better NFL career than college career. The people will go back and say, God, I just don't remember him at Auburn that much.
Yeah, some bad years of Auburn football, but he was good when he had a chance. Happy for Tank. Underused in college. Still some tracks left on those tank, whatever you call those. They're not tires.
Tread.
It's tread.
Tread.
That's what those things are called on the
I
side?
think so, yeah.
Yeah, remember how in Saving Private Ryan, how they took the tread off?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Sticky socks.
Sticky socks. Sticky bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call. All right. When we come back.
It's in your field manual. That's what he said. Sticky bombs. It's in your field manual. Go look it up.
When we come back, we'll jump into some college football, including the big one in Tuscaloosa. Chris Doering on the show to jump even more into what we've seen from the first week of the SEC. Before LT tells you about Milo's, thanks to the Foundry, I got to host their leadership breakfast today. And Greg Sankey, I got to do a one-on-one interview with Greg Sankey. And ironically, in front of a ballroom of people, it was about 45 minutes shorter than the last time he joined us in Nashville. We laughed about that day again, how we all sat up there and just had a great conversation. But I threw him a curveball from my coat pocket. The first thing I pulled out, we discussed some of the questions. We were going to talk about leadership and stuff. I said, let's do it different than you usually do when you're on the show. Let's start with a list.
Oh, Jimmy D ran the list.
So I had a list for him ready to go.
Yeah.
Did he like it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's hard to read. I can see why he's a good negotiator. But it was a great event, and thanks to everybody who donates to the Foundry. Just in the last 3 months, 60 men who battling addiction and alcoholism have come through the Foundry doors in the last 3 months.
Oh, that's incredible.
Great.
Yeah, good.
To get their lives back going, and it's donation driven. So appreciate that breakfast happening every year, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Tell us about Milo's, and we'll get going today on this live Wednesday show.
We got some big news coming up from Milo's in the next couple of weeks, but we want to remind you, as if Milo's Classic Burger wasn't enough, if you download the Milo's app after your first purchase, you're going to get that original cheeseburger for free, absolutely free. Stuff your face, earn free stuff. Download the Milo's app today and start earning rewards.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
You hear a lot of interesting phrases while playing golf, like, I think you're on the beach, or the classic, you gotta hit it, Alice. One word you're sure to hear right now at Bentbrook Golf Club is wow. Brand new carts with complimentary GPS, and the bent grass greens are so consistent, you just might drain a few more putts, Alice. Tee it up and find out for yourself. Book around today at bentbrook.com or call 428-1999. It's better at Bentbrook.
Support the show and grab some great t-shirts and hoodies right now in the Next Round store. Buy the Alabama State map shirts in your team's favorite colors, the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest or Next Round flag shirts are also online now. Just go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store. The traditional Next Round logo shirts are there too. Buy them for yourself, or they make a great gift for someone else. And let us know what you'd like to see in the store coming up. Nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice. The next round brought to you by the biggest and baddest track in NASCAR, the Talladega Super Speedway. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming up. You don't want to miss it. The action kicks off Saturday, September 30th with the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, all leading up to the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs on Sunday, October the 1st. Be there to see these drivers battle for 500 miles to survive and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Again, that is TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
DryTech Water Restoration is a locally owned company that specializes in mold remediation, fire and water damage cleanup, and SteraMist services. DryTech's goal is to provide clients with expert guidance when dealing with any home disaster. DryTech's highly trained specialists are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They will work closely with you and your insurance company to make sure the process is stress-free as possible. Call DryTech today, 205-637-0143. The moment you discover damage to your home, DryTech's team will handle the rest.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Everybody loving the chicken fingers over in the chat room, and the double O sauce from Taylor. 3 fire emojis from Little T out in the command center there. Sick Nasty Heat says double O all day. Yeah.
Who do you think eats more like a kid, Little T or Rockstar?
It is now Little T. She is chicken fingers, fries, and ranch dressing as much as she can get.
Everything.
And I don't like ranch dressing.
See, I've just gotten introduced to pizza with ranch dressing, and I didn't need that in my life because I love pizza as is.
That's right. I saw Portnoy.
Pointnoy?
Yeah, Pointnoy.
Oink.
David Pointnoy with Tucker Carlson in an interview sequence last night that came across my social media. I don't know how old it is. It could be 3 years. It's been since he left Fox because it was on Tucker's platform.
It ain't been 3 years then.
And he's like, you ever get tired of pizza reviews? And Portnoy was like, no, I don't. I actually love it. I love pizza. And Tucker goes, my favorite is bacon and pineapple. And David went into, you're not eating pizza.
I'm one of those guys. I know it's not a manly thing to say, but I like the spicy Hawaiian with a little pineapple on it.
Yeah, he reviews all that New York pizza. That's a different animal up there.
Yeah,
man.
I like New York pizza, though. I mean, it's greasy.
Right. Yeah, I can leave it or take it.
I like to fold it, too.
Yeah, I like our stuff down here better.
Yeah, I've had New York pizza a couple of times. I'm a slice guy for sure.
Yeah.
Our friend Greg Nelson, Storm Restoration Roofing, as we get ready to talk more about Bama and Texas, Greg will tell you that before you raise the roof at Bryant-Denny, you need to make sure your actual roof is in good working order for this football season. Winter's coming. Winter's hard on roofs, boys. You want to get that roof checked out, make sure all these summer storms have not loosened up any shingles or caused any water entry points. Greg will give you a free no-cost roof inspection, 205-542-3531, 542-3531 for that free no-cost roof inspection. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Insurance companies trust him. The best warranties in the business. Locally owned for over 20 years. He and his wife run the company. Look him up on Facebook, too. Greg from Pell City. It is Storm Restoration Roofing. If you ever need that number, just hit me up, and I'll pass it along to you. Rockstar, if you'll give me cut number 3, Quinn Ewers. You would say he is Quinn Ewers needs to have a good game if they're going to beat Alabama, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's going to be If Texas wins this game, it will be Quinn Ewers and perimeter guys having a big game.
It has historically been the thing that trips up Nick Saban coach teams is like elite level quarterback or elite level quarterback play. Not most of the time, but many times you can look back at the games Nick Saban has lost in the regular season, and that's maybe the best game the quarterback's ever played or he's played all season. That's the type of game I think Quinn Ewers needs to have. It's a lot of pressure on him, but I think that's what he's got to do.
In the course of Sunday's game, before they talked to Sark, and on Monday's game, and I've seen a little bit of this from our buddy Joel Klatt as well, there's been a lot of conversation as last year they mass protected and basically run some 2-receiver routes against Alabama, some deep routes, and that's where they beat Alabama on some big plays. It seems like Alabama's team may have a little bit more of aggressive pass rush on Quinn Ewers this year, so I don't know if they'll continue to try to do that. But here is Quinn Ewers on getting another shot at Alabama after the way it went for him, getting knocked out of the game last year.
Quinn, how excited are you to get just another shot at Alabama?
I mean, I'm pretty excited for every game I play. I wouldn't say. I mean, I'm definitely fired up to play against them for sure. I think this whole team is fired up to at the opportunity that we have. So we're all pretty fired up.
Why is this team ready to go into that environment and handle business?
I think with all the work we put in, this offseason and what we went through last year, I think we're all ready for that next step.
Quinn, very
he's pumped.
Very pumped. Hey, the long pause before the first answer is all you need to know. He wanted to say something else.
He did.
And he tapped the brakes and says, "I'm not going to say this."
We got a little Sark filter, is what you think there?
No, I don't. It wasn't edited out of it like Sark stuff
like
is.
Jeff Bates.
Yeah, they self-edit. Sark. Yeah. They'll cut some of that stuff out.
Well, I do think they're going to come in ultra confident. Now, whether or not they win the game, we'll see. But that's a game they believe they really should have won last year. They lose that one 20-19. Heartbreaking loss for Texas. I don't think they expected to beat Alabama last year. They expect to beat Bama this year. And again, going back to Quinn Ewers, he was 9-12 before he went down with the shoulder injury.
No. Alabama they were in trouble. I mean, Quinn Ewers was red hot, and Alabama did not appear to be adjusting. And I mean, I'm not speaking ill of the departed, not that he died, but he went to Oxford. But historically, if you watch the Pete Golding defenses, and I know what the Bama fans are going to say. I'm curious if you guys feel this way. If a team started out hot, adjustments were not his thing. Like if you saw a quarterback start out 9-12 for however many yards and a touchdown, you're like, well, this guy's about to have a career day because Pete ain't adjusted to him. Yeah. I mean, it just felt like that was the Pete Golding model there.
That is true because, for Nick Saban and Kirby Smart in their days, Jeremy Pruitt and to Pete, I'm sure, they start off in a very simple plan, a basic plan to see, because the first plays, 15, 20 plays, are scripted by the offense. And so the philosophy has always been, if we're very conservative defensively to start with, whatever wrinkle we haven't seen on tape, you're going to go to it in your scripted plays. That's just the gamesmanship. So Kirby and the guys would always start off very simplistic, very vanilla on defense to get through the scripted offensive plays. So if you're going to get Alabama, usually back in the day, you would get them early on those first couple of drives when you were still in your script. That's usually when a new wrinkle that they have not seen or prepared for would pop up, and they didn't want to get caught with their pants down. But you're right that sometimes the faucet never got turned off during Pete Golding's time there. I just wonder, these receivers are so good, and we talk about the receiver secondary matchup. It was on my ticker throughout the entire Clemson-Duke game, how Alabama's defensive backs, two of them are banged up and basically day-to-day questionable game time decisions for this game. These two injuries could be a big factor in the outcome of this game because Texas receivers aren't that good.
Yeah, I mean, they are. I mean, Xavier Worthy, you could make an argument outside of Marvin Harrison Jr. is maybe the best receiver in all of college football. You've got, A.D. Mitchell coming over from Georgia. You've got Jordan Whittingham. I mean, you've got a lot of really good receivers at the disposal of Quinn Ewers.
Tell me what you have that replaces Bijan Robinson last year, because I do feel like, Brown and LT, that a lot of the focus last year was we can't let Bijan beat us, right?
Yeah, they defended him pretty well, as memory serves, right?
When Quinn was in the game, Not to give you a sneak peek into the game plan or anything, but while Quinn was still in the game, that 9 of 12, that hot start for him, a lot of focus was we're going to take Bijan Robinson out of the game and make the young quarterback beat us.
Yeah, this year it'll be Jadon Blue and Jonathan Brooks. It'll be a 1-2 punch, 2 sophomores. I mean, not even close to the skill set of Bijan.
Bijan Robinson, 21 carries, 57 yards last year. Had you given Alabama that number the week of the game, they would have said, we'll take that, not even play it. And I would have thought if you'd have told me that number, Alabama would have probably won that game fairly easily.
Pretty easily, right.
Yeah, and they didn't. They had to kick a field goal to win it by 1.
And Keelan Robinson is on that. Michael's asking about Keelan. He played 1 year at Bama, and he's been at Texas.
He ran to the third team on Saturday.
Yeah, only had 1 carry.
Yeah.
There are 2 guys in that game you're not going to replace, and they're Bryce Young and Bijan Robinson. You don't replace those guys. Those are generational type players. So, is Jalen Milroe going to be Bryce Young? He's not. But I think Jalen Milroe can win this football game, and is the running back. He's not going to be Bijan Robinson. But I tell you what, if you told me he's better than 21 carries, 57 yards, it wouldn't blow me away.
Would not blow you away. One more college football note here. We got Chris Doering at the top of the hour. The show today being brought to you in part by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Tell us about Woodhouse, LT.
Look, you got another football weekend coming up. You can take care of the wife or the girlfriend. Send them to Woodhouse Day Spa. It's voted America's best day spa since 2009. They've got over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services, conveniently located at the Summit shopping centers. You can shop online. You can buy those gift cards 24/7. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Stop in, see Stuart, Casey, the fine folks, the Woodhouse Day Spa. Tell them the next round sent you.
Listen, I guess there is the ever-changing world of college athletics. There is a place in the future for some conference who will be interested in Miami, the Hurricanes, because of their history and because of the television market and this, getting into the state of Florida. So maybe it's the Big Ten if the ACC ever crumbles. I doubt it would be the SEC, but who knows? But if you ever, the reason I don't think it would ever be the SEC is what I'm about to tell you.
All right.
Brett McMurphy reporting today. Miami is offering a BOGO, buy one, get one. Fans who purchase ticket for Saturday's Texas A&M game.
Embarrassing.
Receives a free ticket for the Georgia Tech game coming up October 7th. It would be one step worse if you bought one to Texas A&M and got one to Texas A&M.
That would be worse.
Buy one, get one free.
It is arguably their biggest home game of the year. The only other one that would come close is when Clemson comes in Saturday, October 21st.
But lost a little luster on that one.
After watching week 1, I think A&M might be better than Clemson.
Yeah.
This is potentially your biggest home game of the year, and you have to do a BOGO?
Yeah, so who – and the answer here is both. But if I tie you to having to pick one, game's more important for Jimbo or Mario? The answer is both.
It's both, but
it's
I would.
Jimbo.
I don't know, man.
Jimbo.
Mario's in bad need of a big win. Now, here's what complicates what I'm about to say. I don't think both these could happen, but Jimbo could lose this game, win most of his West games, and still go to Atlanta. In which case, that's a step forward. Now, if you lose this game, I don't know that you're going to win most of your West games.
Same for Miami, though. They could lose this game, and they could run the table in the ACC.
But Jimbo's at least got to win over Bama to hang his hat on. What is Mario hanging his hat on?
But again, and I've said this a million times. I've said about Texas. I've said about Texas A&M. Where Texas A&M is right now, best roster he's had. And if you look in-state, last year TCU played for the national championship. So if I'm an A&M fan, it's not enough just to get to Atlanta. I want to win the SEC this year.
Television ratings from Brett McMurphy from the weekend. After I remind you, NASCAR is coming at you fast at Talladega. September 30th and October 1st, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com for tickets. Your ticket to see the Craftsman Truck Playoff on Saturday and the Cup Series, the best drivers in the world on Sunday, the Yellowwood 500, part of the NASCAR playoffs. That ticket also gets you into a concert with Hardy in the infield on race weekend there, coming up on the Saturday night. So a Hardy concert plus 2 big playoff races, including the NASCAR playoff race on Sunday, the Yellowwood 500, with your ticket at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
In the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room, Jay says not to defend Miami, but are they trying to get more butts in the seats for Georgia Tech or A&M? It's Georgia Tech, right? Yeah, it is. But the fact you got enough tickets left to this game, Hard Rock Stadium is not exactly a big stadium in college terms, right? In the NFL, it's no K size. But in college terms, that's a fairly small venue. in comparison.
Oh, there's
the fact you've got enough of those tickets to sell to do a BOGO is crazy.
Brown, there's tickets at almost every level. $125 is what you pay to watch Miami, Texas A&M in the upper deck, $205 in the lower end zone, and $310 in the club corner. And if you buy any of those, you get the free ticket as well in those seats as well for the Georgia Tech game. So there are seats at just about every level still available for that game this weekend, Texas A&M and Miami.
Who was doing the ticket special last week where you bought it and then you got like the next game at half price?
I think it was Memphis.
That was Memphis.
Memphis
it
home
was.
games.
I can't remember if they won or not.
I think they did.
Yeah.
It was a pretty easy win. So if you bought tickets to that one, came to the game, you got a free ticket to the next one until they lose. TV ratings this weekend. Most watched game this weekend was who? Take a guess.
LSU-Florida State.
Yeah, it was a standalone. The next line is impressive because it was not a standalone.
Yeah, the LSU-Florida State, 9.165 million. That Sunday night has become the primo opening weekend, better than Saturday night prime time, better than the Monday night game. That Sunday night is a big window for college football. If the NFL never slides into that weekend, you will see primo games moving forward in that slot, including LSU-USC next year.
Yeah, in the regular season, Jim, that number right there will easily be a top 10 game of the year. About the only thing that will surpass it will be Ohio State-Michigan. The Iron Bowl, if it's got the meaning it normally has, Bama-LSU, if it's got the meaning, Ohio State-Notre Dame. I mean, there are only a few games that'll be better than that.
I'll tell you this.
Maybe Bama-Texas.
Maybe Bama-Texas. I don't know, though, because it is a primetime game.
That was an easy guess for one. I would assume number two, and this is going to be impressive, I would think it's the 11 o'clock Fox Colorado-TCU, and I was going to say
by a lot.
If Colorado was 4-0, if they upset Oregon and they're 4-0 playing USC and USC's undefeated and that's on Fox, watch out for that number.
You're right. Now, you had a lot of other games going on there, though. That's why I'm saying that's an impressive number.
That's right. 11 o'clock with all the games
That's
going
right.
on and the ESPN game day leading into their games and all of that. But Colorado TCU by a lot at 7.262 million. Then almost a 3 million drop to Ohio State, Indiana, West Virginia, Penn State, Nebraska, Minnesota. And then prime time. Was it ABC, North Carolina, South Carolina?
Primetime ABC game.
It was only 3.4 million. So when you
Not a
say
great game.
in the past you used to think prime time better than 11 a.m., double the audience for the Fox game at 11 as opposed to the prime time game.
Y'all want to hear something crazy when it comes to Colorado? Do you guys know who Dave Mason is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's big in the handicapping.
Morning show host, Mason and Dixon?
No, but he bet online.
I bet you somewhere in country music in America there's a Dave Mason that does a Mason and Dixon
It's
show.
Mason and Dixon.
I knew this was coming, though. He said, this Colorado action is insane. Never seen anything like this. I'll be shocked if Saturday's game is not the biggest bet college football regular season game in history.
Yeah.
And he goes on to say,
history.
there is now more cash on Colorado than the spreads for all 32 NFL teams.
Yeah. No, I heard this last night, and I was like,
watch how this game goes Saturday.
Nebraska is your big
Ain't no doubt.
year, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, it's insane when you start comparing a college number to the NFL numbers.
No, you're absolutely right.
The handle is so much bigger.
10 times bigger, typically in the NFL.
Not in this one, though, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's
People think it's free money, and I don't understand that because we don't know how good TCU is.
No, I think they're 6-6.
Colorado's got great skill guys. The offensive line held up on Saturday, but Nebraska was playing at Minnesota. The offense looked disgusting. You know they're going to be well coached with Matt Rule. And you just wonder how they're going to be able to handle this hype. Colorado, that is.
We'll continue that conversation coming up. Our friends at the Pants Store want to get you ready for the game day. If you're heading out to Berkeley or anytime Jordan Hare or to Tuscaloosa or anywhere, including Protective for UAB, Alabama, Auburn, UAB, polos, hats, and quarter zips, all at the Pants Store, pantstore.com, wherever you're watching us in America. Great, great gear for the ladies as well. Your game day needs include the skirts, the rompers, the clear bags, the booties as well. Famous game day brands for your the man in your life as well. Holidays coming up, great place to get a great gift, pantstore.com. They got the Gentile, the Cutter and Buck, the Antigua, the Elephant Head, the Taylor and Mick, and a lot more. Find any of the game day needs at pantstore.com or 6 locations in Auburn, Crestline, Hoover, Huntsville, Leeds, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We're back in a moment on TNR.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 in Hoover with Walk-Ons.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Doering now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
The Next Round is brought to you in part by the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR, Talladega Superspeedway. This beast is 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and always puts on a great show for the fans. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming and you do not want to miss it. Saturday, September 30th is the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, followed by Sunday's Yellowwood 500 in the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs. Be there to see drivers battle 500 miles to survive. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
I love a good teaching moment. I'm horrible at it as a parent, but I was better at it as an athlete. My coaches often use me, my mistakes, as a teaching moment for the whole team. So this is a teaching moment about point spreads, gambling, and such from our friend Lance Taylor, a PSA, if you will. GP writes in off of what you were talking about. He says 85% of the actual money as of today is on Colorado.
Well, I will say this. I'm typically not good at 11 o'clock games. I did play one last week, and we got away with that when we had Fresno against Purdue. They won the game outright.
So you may not even play this game.
I might not even play it. And here's the reason. When you see money that is that heavy, and this is a different kind of handle. Like you'll see an 85-15 split, but it might be a game like, let's just throw out SMU, Oklahoma, and there's not a huge handle on it. A lot of times those 85% will get away with it for whatever reason. The public gets away with major lopsided games like that when there's not a big handle. The thing that makes me think that Nebraska is a lock is because the handle is so massive.
Yeah, but that's not 100%. We should always say that nothing in gambling is 100%. But usually when you got a handle that big one way, they don't build those big casinos and hotels because the public knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and here's what will happen on this game. Seriously, you'll see a weird turnover. You'll see a couple of flags that are controversial. Everything will go against Colorado at home. Deion will bitch about it after the game, and Nebraska will win this game.
You heard it right here first. Our friends at mybookie.ag, if you want to jump in, the key word here is next round.
That is correct. That's 2 words. They'll remind you to put it together there when you go to mybookie.ag, code next round, mybookie.ag, code next round. And with code next round, you can get a sign-on bonus of up to $200 in cash on any deposit of $50 or more, and you can use that instantly in your MyBookie account. You bet it once, it is yours forever if you win. MyBookie.ag, code next round. MyBookie.ag, code next round. That's where you go to get involved in that game Lance is telling you about right there, and all the action starting Thursday night with the NFL. MyBookie.ag, code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag.
Rockstar, before you pull up, Bryce Barnum, the head coach at Portland State, cut 10. Before you do that, tell me how you know you're having a bad day. Like, give me one example. How does Rockstar know, man, I'm not having a good day? Give me something. For me, like on Saturday, Maggie was out of town. I'm trying to watch my games. I got 2 yapping dogs that if somebody even breathes outside in our neighborhood, they start barking like they want to either go play or they think we're being attacked, and they go crazy. So I had to bark collar them up. But as I walk up and down the stairs,
do those work though? The bark collar?
I've
No,
seen them work sometimes.
Bullet barked one time yesterday. It was the first time he's ever barked.
Right.
One time, one and done.
Coming out of his shell. So I'm up and down, and we have this gate to keep him coming upstairs because we still have carpeting upstairs in the townhome we're in. I tripped and cut my toe. I stumbled on that gate 8 times. I cannot tell you the words I used, screaming at those dogs to stop barking while I tried to enjoy a national holiday of college football. So that's when I know I'm having a bad day. I hit my toe, I bumped my head, I hurt myself. Self-inflicted wounds. How do you know you're having a bad day, Rockstar?
I guess at the end of the day, I'll go, today was a bad day.
Yeah, that kind of sucked.
I don't really have a, traffic sucks. That's the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Not being able to sleep, that's the beginning of it. I've had a lot of bad days lately.
From the bald-faced truth, this is Portland State coach Bruce Barnum. Not only did they get beat 81-7, listen to what else happened in the game.
We're fine. Knock on wood, we had one guy get his ear ripped off. They sewed it back on.
What?
And now they say he has a concussion, and he can't. So he's out. But I think he's fine. He's talking to me today, Coach. He said, "Coach,
he really got his ear like Evander Holyfield."
Not the whole ear, but partial ear detachment. I think it was from when he got his helmet knocked off, and I think his ear didn't come out of his helmet. Anyway, so they're sewing him up, and so I guess that means you have a concussion. And again, we're making sure he's fine, so he'll sit out this game. But
yeah,
my gosh,
he got his helmet knocked off, and his ear just didn't come out of the helmet.
Ear didn't come out.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bad day.
Yeah, it's tough.
Well, they said Dan Lanning at Oregon.
Lance. Here's your ear.
They're going to be more physical this year.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, they are. And I heard it was Portland State. A lot of great comparisons to Dan Lanning's defenses to what you see from Kirby and Tuscaloosa
85 Bears.
in Athens. Yeah.
I saw, it was our buddy Rashad Johnson, right? Took his glove off and part of his finger didn't come out.
Yeah, it didn't come with it.
Didn't come with the glove.
Still
It stayed
in
the
the
glove.
glove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that can happen with an ear, too. That's a rough day, though. If I got a concussion and I lost part of my ear. Good news is I probably don't remember losing most of my ear if I had the concussion.
Yeah.
I guess that's the positive.
Our show being brought to you by Dr. B. Total hair loss doesn't have to be your end-of-life journey. If you catch it at the right time, somewhere south of when LT and Dr. B hooked up, it would have helped me, but I was too late. People always ask, Dr.
Why
B,
not Jim?
why not Jim? Well, I waited too late. There's a time period. You got to get this at the right time. You need to see Dr. B today.
Well, and that's the thing. He's so credible because if the hair follicle's dead, he's going to tell you about it. But if you start to thin out, and look, and I'm starting to notice this in people, and how close do you have to be to somebody to tell them, hey, look, you're thinning out. You need to go see my friend Dr. Beckenstein.
It shouldn't be too close. You got to be honest with people.
Should we do a poll question whether or not if you know somebody that you consider semi-close, should you tell them if they're thinning out a little bit, yes or no?
Yeah.
Be preemptive?
Yeah, I would do it 100%.
Do you know anybody that you should tell this to?
No, I mean, are you wanting me to say
No, I mean, you're
somebody up
smiling.
here?
I was just asking.
No, Brand was giving me hand signals, and I was like,
No. That was completely unrelated to what we were talking about
okay,
right here. Yeah.
very good. I was afraid you were going to be like, are we talking about Brown? No? Brown's hair looks fine to me.
I didn't say anything
I don't
about
think Lance
that.
brought anybody up.
Yeah.
To
Okay, just checking.
Wow, did Dunaway just subtly do
No,
that?
I think so, maybe.
Our friend Dr. B offering Sensus Transdermal Infuser. This enables Dr. B to get various medicines and therapies into the scalp where the hair follicles are without using any injections. This is revolutionary as Dr. B can pinpoint delivery of a patient's genetically specific products without any needles. Make the call that I made back in the day for that consultation, 205-319-0316. For more than 20 years, Dr. B has been doing magic. T3hair.net for more information. Again, 205-319-0316.
Okay, we got Doering in the next segment, but let me ask you a question. Peter Burns said this. Peter Burns, part of the burnout here on the Disrupt the Media platform. Go follow, like, and subscribe over in our YouTube channel. Every one of those shows, video-wise, you can get the audio on Spotify, Apple, those type platforms, and of course on our app as well. The Next Round, right there in your Apple store. Go download that. It's always a great way to listen to us live as you move around in the car too. He said that he actually feels better about LSU after the week 1 loss this year than he did last year, because Florida State actually, he thinks maybe that much better of a team than they were last year.
Well, a couple of things I would say. Florida State does look like Clemson looked a couple of years ago. They look like they've really taken the power spot of the ACC. I mean, they've got the players. And last year, LSU was just so sloppy, and you really didn't know what Jaden Daniels was going to be able to do. So I kind of see what he's saying. Early on, LSU had an opportunity to get up double digits, and LSU played horrible football in the second half. The only thing that scares me about LSU is how they gave up. And this is week 1, and it really did look like, it's hard to say that, and it especially to put this out there for an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, but watching them, the body language, they looked a little dead when they went down 14. They looked a step like, hey, this guy's gone. I'm not going to chase him all the way to the end zone. It looked like they quit. That's the only thing that bothers me.
And in last year's game, if you'll think back to last year's game, they played like crap early, but then they charged back. They played their tail off to the end of that game. It came down to a missed extra point that, cost them overtime. And I'm with Lance. So coming out of that game, I'm like, hey, at least my team fought back. I don't know if they're any good, but they fought to the end. You cannot say that about this year's game. They did not fight to the end.
Yeah.
Not one bit. You can say, oh, they scored that last touchdown. Yeah, that was a busted coverage by Florida State. Good play, LSU. Your defense gave up.
Against
your defense
the
laid
twos,
down.
too, by the way.
Yeah.
They'd put in their backup defense.
Yeah, your defense laid down.
These 4 teams won their game this weekend, and I want you to tell me if you feel better or worse about them right now than you did after week 1 last year. 2-time defending national champs, Georgia.
I don't feel better about them, no.
No, I don't.
One last year when they just blitzed Oregon?
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, yes. Destroyed Oregon, yeah. Over in Atlanta.
Yeah. Ohio State.
Oh, I feel much worse about Ohio State.
Yeah. And they won the game. Both of these won the game.
They're a mess at quarterback, though.
Tennessee?
I feel well, I wasn't a Tennessee believer yet last year, so I probably feel better about them now than I did after the first game last year.
I probably do, too. Let's not forget, if they lose that game at Pittsburgh, and boy, if Pittsburgh quarterbacks don't get banged up, I think they probably do. I think the season goes a different direction.
Maybe so, but I probably feel better about Tennessee now than I did this time last year, yeah.
Yeah. Something in the orange, you'd say.
Zach Bryan?
Then Texas A&M. You feel better about Texas A&M?
I feel definitely better about
A&M.
A&M.
This time last year?
Yeah.
I'm almost prepared to say. I want to see what Alabama does this weekend. I want to see what A&M does. But you guys would give me this. If Alabama, for whatever reason, lost to Texas this weekend and A&M smoked Miami by double digits, would you not say that, hey, maybe the lean for the West is A&M? I know that sounds crazy. Look, this thing could go the other way. Alabama could skull drag Texas. A&M could lose at Miami, and then this is moot. Yeah. But I'm just saying, if it played out like that, are you guys prepared to say A&M might be your favorite in the
Let's
West?
revisit it Monday. Let me see them both. Yeah,
we can do it Monday. But I don't want this to become a revolving door all year long where you're just looking for the next SEC West team to put in there instead of Alabama. One weekend, LSU didn't get a rose and they're out. Now we're trying to push up Texas A&M. Who's next?
But
Ole Miss?
Do you not get a feeling that this is going to be an insane year in college football? Because, again, with the portal.
It felt that way in week 1 for sure.
It just seems like things we're getting finally. This was a top-heavy sport for a while where you could pick 3 of the 4 teams that were going to be in the college football playoff. I don't know if it's like that anymore.
If we could send a bottle of chicken cock to anybody, it'd be Chris Doering. He's coming up next with us. We'll talk SEC football with Doering. Tell us about chicken cock, a great way to enjoy your fall Saturdays.
It really is Dunaway. We've become huge fans here. It is the official bourbon right here on the next round. Chicken cock whiskey, one of the oldest whiskey brands in America, founded in 1856 in Bourbon County, Kentucky, known as the famous Old Brand. Again, chicken cock has a name you will not forget. Chicken cock preceded the popular usage of the term rooster in describing a male chicken. Additionally, the rooster tails were used to stir cocktails, i.e. the cocktail. You can get the bourbon and rye available in Alabama. All other expressions are available for special order at your local ABC store or order online, chickencockwhiskey.com.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy, all under one roof. It's our friends at Hydra Live Therapy. IV therapy treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, and boost your immune system, and more. If you mention the next round at checkout, save 20% off any service. You can join the IV League today. Members are rewarded with deep discounts. Make sure you ask about that. Hydra Life Therapy open 7 days a week. Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone.
Want more of the Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our not-for-all-ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Harbin's Outdoors is an award-winning landscape company specializing in installing custom fiberglass pools, landscaping, and hardscaping. Jeremy and his team are a one-stop shop for your pool construction needs. Harbin's does it all, from the install to the final hardscapes around the pool and everything in between. It's beautiful work. You can find them on Instagram at Harbins_outdoors to see it for yourself, or call or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718. That's 205-300-0718. At Harbins, you and your home are the center of all that they do.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Chris Doering coming up here in 30 seconds. Our friends at the University of Montevallo want to remind you, if you've got a son or daughter that want to continue their athletic career, they can do it at Montevallo. 23 fully funded Division II scholarship sports at the University of Montevallo. Great price point tuition. My daughter goes to school there. She's in the multi-million-dollar theater department. So you get a ton of money for the money a ton of education for the money you spend at the University of Montevallo. Find out more and schedule an in-person tour. Montevallo.edu. Montevallo.edu. Forster, show me what Arkansas is doing for the rest of the year. They're paying tribute to Alex Collins and Ryan Mullett. with their initials on each of the 3 and 15-yard lines for the rest of the season there in Arkansas. Just a tragic off season for the Razorback family, and we've all thought about them during those losses. It'll be nice to for the Razorback family to gather together in Fayetteville after a Little Rock game and remember those great Hogs.
They were great Hogs, a great Gator is Chris Doering, SEC Network. He is with us now on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline, I-65 exit 304 in Coleman and 334 in Decatur. What is up, Doering? How are you today, buddy?
Good morning, boys. Good to be back with you guys. I like the way you guys are selling this show, man. That was a nice little hefty commercial block there, man. You guys are doing well.
Yeah, we are.
You don't get to take your entire staff to SEC Media Days by having holes in your commercial block. I mean, we had photographers, content people, Little T handling social media for us. We had everybody in Nashville.
Hey, I love it. Hey, I know it's all about stuff. That's why we don't do any of this for fun, right? We do it to make money here, and I'm happy for you guys and look forward to your continued success. But thanks for having me back, and thanks for having so much fun. I saw you guys had a lot of fun at my expense over the weekend on social media there from time to time.
Oh, did we? What did we do?
Oh,
what did we do, Doering?
Well, I mean, there were jokes about, I don't know, some haven't been this disheveled since out on Broadway.
Hey, so in all honesty, we have a great sponsor, Chicken Cock. I did write that on Twitter, and I was about a half bottle in, and I went back, within 60 minutes, I was able to edit that. I took that part off real quick. I was like, that may be...
I'll own it. I own what I do. I don't care, man. I have fun. We have a great time over on Media Days. Yeah, Lance knows what's up, so I'm happy with it, man. Don't worry about it.
I didn't get a quick laugh back from Hester or from him, so I was like...
all right, I'm done.
As I was sipping, I was like, ooh, this may not age well. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that.
Hey, so when we were up in Nashville, though, we were talking about this Florida team, and you know, I didn't know what to expect. And look, they didn't look good against Utah. You obviously know that. But you said up there, Florida has got to be patient with Billy Napier. This is year 2, and you're already hearing the rumblings, Chris. People are talking about $31.5 million, and is this beginning the end for Billy Napier? I mean, the guy can still coach. It was one game. He still hasn't fully built his program, but people are already calling for his head.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous, and I think that's the nature of college football fans, SEC fans specifically. But I think you look no further than what we saw on Monday night or Sunday night with Mike Norvell. You know, just a little over a year ago, Florida State fans wanted Mike Norvell out of Tallahassee, and they had no choice but to give him some time, and that time has paid dividends now with the roster that he's recruited, how they've developed, and I still think he's one of the best play callers in college football. So I think Florida fans need to be patient. Now, was I happy with the loss? No. Was I even less happy with the way they went about losing? It was embarrassing. They were out-coached. They looked like they had zero organization. I'm okay with, 3rd and short, 4th and short, jumping off sides penalties when you're in that kind of hostile environment week 1, but I'm not okay with not being able to line up correctly, not having enough men on the line of scrimmage. Having too many number 3s on the field is an absolute joke. Not being able to get the plays in on time when you're in the red zone and taking a delay of game penalty. Those are the things that bother me, that over time, if they continue, really make you wonder whether or not you have the right coach. But for now, you're all in on Billy Napier. Like you said, the guy didn't forget the coach. He's done a nice job at Louisiana before this. He's got a plan. We need to see some more time to execute this plan. But certainly they've got to clean up those procedural mistakes, because that was absolutely embarrassing.
Chris Doering is with us. You played the game, so I think you could recognize this if it happened, and it seems as though it did. Did LSU's defense lay down at the end of that game against the Seminoles Sunday night?
That's what you want, right? I mean, as an offense, you want to make the defense capitulate, and there was complete capitulation on the LSU defense at the end of that ball game. Let me say this. I hate Florida State. I will cheer for anybody over Florida State. Obviously, I was cheering for LSU. But I love when a team is able to impose its will and do the same thing over and over again and make the other team just give up. And that's what happened. I was nervous at halftime when it was 17-14. Florida State played about as poorly as they could have, with about 3 or 4 drops, 6 penalties for 58 yards to none for LSU. The red zone mistakes, not being able to convert down there, 5 trips down there, you only get 17 points. I was nervous that LSU might be in some trouble, but I never would have imagined it would have materialize the way that it did with the dominance, the physical dominance that occurred in the second half. And guys, it takes me back. Like, I made this comment the other day. What if LSU didn't convert that 2-point conversion against Alabama? You know, how do we feel about Brian Kelly? How do we feel about this LSU program right now? They don't go to Atlanta last year. You know, their last regular season game, they were physically whipped by a 5-win team in College Station in Texas A&M. The best win of the season may have been Ole Miss, and that was amongst the 5-game losing streak that Lane Kiffin went through as the rumors around him going to Auburn swirled. So, you know, I think a lot of the goodwill that was created at the end of the year last year may have been lost in week 1 against Florida State.
A lot of coaches in the SEC in the last 17 years have eaten well off of a win over Nick Saban. There haven't been many, but when you get one, you're able to belly up to the table for a while. Two things here. Your position, you're a big dude. How come there are so many DBs that are my size? How come there are so many DBs in corners who are 5'11", trying to cover 6'4" guys like we saw in the Florida State LSU game? And the second part, what did you used to say to the quarterback who wouldn't throw it up in the air? Because so many times Jaden Daniels was throwing it at eye level for the DB and not throwing it up to his receiver. Those two questions. Why are so many DBs short, and what did you used to say to your quarterback when he threw it flat?
Let's start on the second. Are we allowed to cuss on the show?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right, so we're playing in South Carolina in '95. We're down in the red zone. I looked at Coach Burr. I said, "Coach, throw me the fucking fade. I've got a 5-foot fucking guy covering me." To which,
wow,
you know, he never liked the F word, so he's like, "Chris, we don't need that." And you know, we moved on from there. But like, I don't think people have recognized over time. You know, I get in this argument every week with Dari. Like, Dari hates the fade. I absolutely love the fade, particularly being a 6'4" guy. Throw the ball up. I'm going to either go up and make a catch, get pass interference, or knock the ball down, particularly with a defensive back with his back turned. Not to mention that I rarely lined up against a guy that had the same sort of height and length that I had. Torrey James was one at LSU that was a longer corner that had the same kind of height. You know, Sauce Gardner has some length and all with the Jets. But, like, more times than not, you know, those guys are smaller and they got their back turned. Like, let's throw the ball up and let those guys go get it. The worst throw that a quarterback can make is short and flat and inside. I cannot stand that, whether we're talking a red zone or whether we're talking about in the open field. Give me a chance, throw it up on the outside. Let me use my body and let it fall over my shoulder. So, you know, the bigger problem that I have, guys, is when we're talking about some of these players, LSU's, where they have guys from Southeast Louisiana, transfer from Syracuse. Like, not everybody. Go to South Carolina. Their offensive line, Yale, Western Illinois, Charlotte. Like, it's great to go plug holes, but when you're relying on those guys as your starters, not everybody's going to make that jump like Juice Wells did from James Madison to the SEC as smoothly in 1 year. So I think there's a lot of teams that have some potential holes with guys that are either undersized or underskilled that are going to get exposed this year.
There was a belief for a while that Jalen Milroe would transfer out of Alabama. He gets the start against Middle Tennessee State. He'll get the start again this weekend. When you go back and you look at his 5-touchdown performance, what did you see, the good and the bad of Jalen Milroe?
I'll be honest, I undervalued what Alabama was going to be this year, at least in one game. I undervalued what I thought Jalen Milroe could do. I knew he was a great athlete. I go back to the Texas A&M game. I knew he was better than everybody else physically on the field. I did not know whether or not he was going to be a good quarterback. But what I saw was a guy that was willing to hang in the pocket, an offensive line that did a really nice job in providing him time to throw the football, a guy that knew where to go with the ball and threw with great accuracy. The touch that he put on a couple of those deep balls, dropping it in, letting the guys run underneath it, I was very impressed with that. Obviously, the running ability, adding the 2 rushing touchdowns for 5 total on the day was impressive. I'll tell you the bigger thing that I worry about, guys. I don't know if you went back and watched it, but the pass protection, they only gave up 2 sacks. None of those were on the offensive line. Both were on the running backs. Both, you go back and look at the entire night, there were issues in protection with the running backs, either identifying who they were blocking in protection or being able to execute or even look like they wanted to be involved in the pass protection. I can guarantee you Texas will bring pressure on Saturday night and see whether or not those running backs want to be in there to protect Jalen Milroe.
Well, you go back to 2020, Najee Harris, as good as he was at everything else, he was fantastic at picking up blitzers and blocking and punishing them. It's a great point by Doering there.
Cherokee is the number one selling RV brand in the country and in the state of Alabama, and the number one dealer is Johnston RV. They start as low as $199 a month there. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 Indicator, and JohnstonRVCenter.com. Chris Doering is on that hotline. Auburn looks like they're going to rotate at least in the red zone quarterbacks. You played for a coach that wasn't afraid to pull a quarterback if he was struggling, but in this situation where Peyton Thorne might not be playing poorly, but he comes out in the red zone, what are the challenges of that if Hugh Freeze continues to do that with Thorne and Robbie Ashford?
I mean, I think naturally, as a competitor, you want to be in there. You want to see, your team get into the end zone and you be, responsible for doing that. Hugh Freeze warned us before, though, when he named Peyton Thorne the starter. He said, you're going to see packages for Robbie Ashford. I thought he utilized those guys incredibly well. I mean, it's ironic. I said it on the show on Saturday night. Robbie Ashford throws for as many yards as he had touchdowns on the night, which was interesting. But I do think that the coach's job is to find players and put them in positions to be successful and help the team. And Robbie Ashford can execute down in the red zone with a lot of the read option stuff, as well as anybody else in the conference can. So I like the usage. Hopefully, behind the scenes, Peyton Thorne and Robbie Ashford are on the same page and are of the same mindset about just doing whatever it takes to win. But the thing I was really impressed with the most was, some of the receiver play. Jay Fair looked fantastic in catching 5 balls and a touchdown. Look at the kid that came over from Jackson State, Shane Hooks. I thought he made some nice plays. Corey Moore had a nice one down the sideline. So that was a real question mark in the preseason and spring to me, were how the receivers were going to be to help out the quarterbacks. And through one game, I thought they looked pretty good as well.
I want our audience to hear what you think about 129 snaps from Travis Hunter at receiver, where he's running routes, and then what he did on the defensive side and the big plays he was still making in the fourth quarter. What was your big takeaway from that performance?
Yeah, let's not leave out the rest of the detail. 129 snaps, September 2nd in Texas. I mean, we're not talking about – yeah, and maybe, the U.S. Olympic team, they go to altitude to train. Maybe being up in Boulder certainly helped him prepare for that. But I thought it was an absolute gutsy effort, the will to want to be out there and play that much. I go back and look at the tape of the Florida game on Thursday. There were a lot of guys that wanted no part of being out there on Florida's defense late into the fourth quarter. And to see, Travis Hunter be out there wanting to play and making plays to help his team win was impressive. I love a guy that loves to compete. And certainly it looks like not only he, but a lot of the other guys on the team love being able to prove people wrong and go out there and compete on Saturdays.
Okay, true or false, best wide receiver unit in the SEC is in College Station.
Yeah, true, 100% true. I was skeptical of their usage. And if you go back and watch that tape, New Mexico took away the run. They played a lot of man coverage, and I was impressed with the receiving core. Noah Thomas, we'd heard a lot about him in the offseason, but his 6'6" length, talk about being able to throw it up in the end zone. He can go get it for you. Evan Stewart was fantastic. Loved seeing Aniyah Smith back from that injury. Moose Muhammad, another contributor there. But what was impressive to me, guys, was Connor Wegman. How about his development in terms of standing in there? He made some big-time gutsy throws with guys coming free and just, delivering the football and taking some hits. So at least through 1 week, it's easy to overreact to a lot of these things. But it looks like Bobby Petrino's impact on Connor Wegman's development, the offense as a whole, has been pretty significant.
At Chris Doering on Twitter, at CDoering28 on Instagram, and you see him on the SEC Network and ESPN. He's always kind with his time. Thank you very much, Chris. Have a great week.
Forgive the cussing parents out there. I'm sorry, but had to tell the story.
Yeah, kids are supposed to be at school today. They're supposed to be at school.
That's right.
Yes, thank you, Chris. See you, buddy. JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline is where you found Chris. Don't forget, they appreciate the military like we do on this show. You made America the greatest nation in the universe. Their way of saying thank you is great discounts there for retired and active duty military. Number one Cherokee dealer in the state, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
And also by our friends who are bringing NASCAR racing back to Talladega a couple times a year. Talladega Superspeedway, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Nothing like that door-handle-to-door handle 200-mile-per-hour racing. You get a chance to see the Craftsman Truck Series playoffs on September 30th, and on October 1st, it's the Yellowwood 500. Hardy's in concert. You get the concert, both races, all the fun at Talladega, the people watching, the big party that it is with your race tickets. Get the tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Doering brought up a great point about, you can't throw the ball flat, right, to him, to the big receivers. Jordan Travis did such a good job taking advantage of the height difference of his receivers to the LSU guys, and Jaden Daniels didn't. You just wonder, moving forward, and we touched on this a little bit earlier this week, with Garrett Nussmeier sitting over there, and Garrett Nussmeier's ability, it looks like, to maybe throw the ball better. He doesn't bring the legs, Jaden Daniels does, but he maybe throws the ball better. When does it become a question of let's see what Garrett can do? Because we saw in the bowl game he could do it.
On the original roundtable, I was talking to Ian about this yesterday, Ian Fitzsimmons, and he said it ain't going to happen anytime soon. And you do have to give Jaden a little bit of time. I mean, Jaden was so good last year. And obviously his strength is his wills, but I do agree, needs to put a little more arc on that ball. I go back, the best missile-throwing flat football I ever saw in college football was Colin Kaepernick. Now, he earned more of his praise in the NFL as a guy that could run the football, but when he played at Nevada, all he threw were BBs. There was no arc on it.
Yeah, little BBs there. New Life Art brings us Rockstar's viewing menu. You'll tell us about New Life after Rockstar tells us what he is watching tonight. Again, Rockstar says this all the time. Strike's going on.
Strike's still going, guys.
Strike's going on. We've got a Bachelor who's in his 70s. We've got a Dancing with the Stars with a twist this year coming back, and I don't mean the dance move. It's got some kind of different part of the competition. What are you watching tonight?
8 p.m. on HBO Signature. I saw this. I think Lunsford's the only one I know that saw that The Flash, that everybody's extreme, or I think Tyler saw it too, extremely disappointed in The Flash because it's got old school Michael Keaton in it, reprising his role as Batman. And then 9 p.m. on True TV, there's nothing truer about this. One of Jim Carrey's better roles, Dumb and Dumber from 1994.
That's a funny movie. I love Dumb and Dumber.
It is good. I watched a movie called at the number 12. Give me this recommendation. It's called Barbarian.
Yeah, I've seen that. So,
yeah.
Under the House, that kind of thing.
Boy, it is very creative and very disturbing, and these two would absolutely hate it.
I did hear on Sirius XM that the bachelorettes that are on that Golden Bachelor are all aged 50 to 70-something.
Yeah.
So they're in his age group.
It's going to kill the ratings. It's going to be horrible.
No, I think they're appealing to a different group.
Yeah, but I think you would have appealed to more, and you would have gotten more controversy if the dude would have been dating. Like I said, there was no way ABC was going to say you can date 20-year-olds. Yeah, but if they would have done 30 to 40, it still would have gotten a lot of backlash.
I think ABC's probably looking at who's watching those types of shows on primetime, and they're like, all right, I mean, the 20 and 30-year-olds ain't watching. Yeah. Let's appeal to the 50 to 70-year-olds.
Instead of making Jesse Palmer host it, they should have made Jim Palmer if he hadn't died.
Yeah, he's not with us.
Did Jim Palmer pass? Yeah, I think he did.
Dead or alive, Jim Palmer.
I think he's dead. But remember when he used to do the was it the Jockey underwear?
Yeah, underwear commercials.
Was it Hanes or Jockey?
Oh, I think it was Jockey.
Yeah, tell us about New Life Art while Brown checks out Jim Palmer above ground or not.
Daniel Moore has announced that Masterwork in Oil's legacy continues, which you see right there on your screen. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute, sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. You can pre-order right now, DanielMooreArt.com. That's DanielMooreArt.com.
Jim Palmer's still with us, guys.
Oh, I apologize to Jim Palmer. And
still pitching.
And the Oriole family.
Yeah, age 77. He'll turn 78 October 15th. So happy birthday coming up to Jimmy.
Yeah,
I think he should host. I think that's a good call.
It would have been a great call, and I'm sure Jesse would have signed off
I'll
on that.
guarantee you the Golden Bachelor will not end up with one of these girls.
They do leave it open. I know it's common now to have it both air over the air, but also push streaming because eventually everything will be streaming. They do leave it open that it's also streaming on whatever is it, Hulu or something like that. It's also streaming on Hulu. There's a good chance that maybe we'll stop even putting it on ABC.
It's only streaming on Hulu.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, we will do 4 downs today. LT has our 4 downs. And later on this hour, Elijah McAllister joins the show. An extensive conversation with one of Auburn's captains. That's still to come this hour right here on The Next Round.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Doering now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Birmingham store. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have a perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Our job is to make sure your feet are happy. Visit the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Your feet will thank you.
It's college football time in Alabama. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. I grew up an Alabama fan, Roll Tide, but my wife, Caroline, grew up an Auburn fan, War Eagle. But no matter who you pull for, whether it's the Lions of the University of North Alabama or the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State or any other school in between, I want to wish all the players, the coaches, and especially the fans another great college football season here in Alabama. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
The Next Round brought to you by the biggest and baddest track in NASCAR, the Talladega Superspeedway. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming up. You don't want to miss it. The action kicks off Saturday, September 30th with the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, all leading up to the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs on Sunday, October the 1st. Be there to see these drivers battle for 500 miles to survive and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Again, that is TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
These guys know that there are days I can get down on myself or just some things in general, and you don't want to be behind a microphone when you're not in a good mood sometimes, or you want to be down. Imagine being linebacker Johnny Hodges of Texas Christian University, the Horned Frogs, and you get the media opportunity this week on a Tuesday to roll out there and represent the good old TCU coming off the beatdown they got from Colorado. Here's our Maestro Dobell, Diamante, realistic look at ourselves in the mirror sound of the day.
I guess you can say it's a wake-up call. I don't know how losing in the national championship by 60 isn't a wake-up call, but right now we're definitely the laughing stock of college football. Having 22 missed tackles, having who knows how many missed assignments, making our defensive coordinator look awful, just making his defense look like it's a childhood kid's defense and him getting all this slack. So if it's not a wake-up call, then I don't know what it is. So.
Wow. Holy crap.
Now, if not by losing by 60 in the national championship game wasn't a wake-up call, but.
I love that. But when Johnny said that, when he talked about the 22 missed tackles, then he said the defensive coordinator getting slack. Slack means we're letting the defensive coordinator.
He meant flack.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But, boy, it came out wrong. It sounded like he was just crushing everybody.
Yeah, he meant flack there.
They've lost, don't forget, 3 of their last 4 games. TCU.
They have.
Yeah.
They have. And technically,
2 of them in kind of embarrassing fashion.
They added what championship trophy to their trophy case last year?
That'd be not one single one, Jim.
Not one. You can put a championship something on the back of your bar. It's a Maestro Dobel Diamante, the completely clear tequila out there, made with 100% pure agave. And it's aged in these Balkan region, Eastern European wood barrels that just gives it a unique flavor, and it helps making it this clear crystal tequila, balanced tequila. It is so good to the taste. It's Maestro Dobel Diamante Tequila, wherever you buy your tequila. One of the fastest growing premium tequilas in the world. It is Maestro Dobel Diamante Tequila. All right, 4 Downs every day, brought to you by our friends at Slice. We'll tell you about Slice in a second, but let's crank it up, Rockstar, with our first down today. 4 great locations of Slice. LT has them for us. Hit it, man.
First down.
Okay, when September is over, better chance Colorado 1-4 or 3-2.
I got to remember.
Give me their schedule.
Hang on.
Okay, so I'm going to give it to you. You got to win already. You've got Nebraska. You've got Colorado State. You go to Oregon. You got USC.
1-4.
They're going to beat the crap out of Colorado State.
Yeah, was 1-4 the choice?
Yeah, 1-4.
Oh, no. Then the other one, yeah. They're not going to lose to Colorado State. Yeah. They've already got another win. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, they won't lose.
They'll beat the brakes off Colorado.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose Saturday to Nebraska, but they'll beat Colorado.
One note on everybody wondering about Travis Hunter's, reps that he gets in practice. Dion said,
he's not practicing.
You're not practicing until Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you until Wednesday.
Does he look like he needs practice?
I don't think I'm practicing the rest of the year.
Yeah. You guys, give me 10 wind sprints real quick. Not you, Travis.
Remember, he said he's going to put a hot tub on the plane for him.
Second down.
You see where Colorado is ranked in the top 25 for the first time in 20 years.
Welcome back, Colorado.
If I asked you better chance of one of these 3 winning the SEC, Texas A&M, Tennessee, or Kentucky, or Colorado actually finishing the year in the top 25?
Texas A&M, Tennessee, Kentucky win the SEC, or Colorado stays in the top 25.
Yep.
Better chance Texas A&M wins the SEC.
With Colorado's schedule, they'd have to be 8-4 to be in the top 25.
Oh, I think 7-5 would get them there.
I do not know.
Just because of the Dion factor.
Maybe 7-5 teams.
They ain't going 7-5.
They ain't going in 8-4 for sure.
I think Kentucky's got a better chance of winning the SEC.
Yeah, I would take A&M. I don't know. I would go A&M, Tennessee, and Kentucky in that order. I mean, Colorado could. Check back with me when September's through. I'll go Green Day with you when September's through.
Wait me up when September ends.
Yeah.
Third down.
I'll have a better feel for this.
Okay, I'll let the back room chime in on this because I don't think you guys have seen either. But Idris Elba, one of my favorite actors, 51 years old today. Better role, Stringer Bell in The Wire or as Luther in Luther?
I've watched an
I've
episode
watched
and a half
of those.
Episode and a half of Wire.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't finish Wire and I haven't finished Luther, but I've watched part of both of them.
What is Luther?
He's a BBC. He's a
British
detective. Yeah, he's in London, just solving crimes.
Oh, Maggie probably. I mean, every time
incredible.
Maggie watches all British television.
Yeah, as good as Stringer Bell was, and boy, plays an American well. I like the Luther character. I think Luther is one of the more underrated shows I've ever seen.
I'm going to go with Luther then.
Okay, thank you.
You've never seen it.
No, but
I've seen 2 or 3 episodes of Luther. I liked it. Never seen The Wire. Lunsford's never seen either or. So he can't contribute on this.
Oh, wow. That's surprising.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's a 49ers fan now, so I don't really know this version of Lunsford.
I bet number 12 seen both of these.
I think I go Stringer Bell.
It's
tight, though.
Both were great.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
He's shaking his head. Said 12 hasn't seen either one either. They only watch the same things. They're like 2 people.
Okay.
One person.
Okay. Fair
2
enough.
bodies.
Okay, Rocky, you're going to have to weigh in on this. Roger Waters
4 arms.
is 80 years old today. Better career, Roger Waters, Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl.
See, I think I would go Waters.
Waters is nothing without David Gilmour.
Oh, wow. Shot at Roger Waters.
But is Dave Grohl where he is
he's
now
without
Nirvana?
Yeah. I mean,
He's
he wouldn't have
continued his success without Nirvana.
Yeah, but I mean, with the Foo Fighters, I like the Foo Fighters, don't get me wrong, but would they be what they are without Nirvana paving the road?
I'll chime in here. I think Grohl is a great lyric. He writes great lyrics. He's a good writer, so I'm going to go Grohl here as well.
Roger Waters wrote most of Pink Floyd's great stuff.
And I'm not a Pink. I'm not
over him any day.
Not a huge Pink Floyd
I'm not a Pink Floyd fan at all.
I hate Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
I like Nirvana much better than Foo Fighters, but I like Foo Fighters even better than Pink Floyd. But Pink Floyd's more iconic. I mean, they are.
You didn't ask that. You asked Roger Waters or Dave Grohl.
Yeah. And I'll go back to it. Roger Waters or Dave Grohl.
I still take Dave Grohl.
Okay.
I'm going to go Grohl as well.
I think I'll go Grohl.
I think I'll take Waters.
Just to be different. And that is 4 Downs today. Brought to you by our friends at Slice Pizza. Tell us about Slice.
Yeah, 4 great locations. There's the original in Lakeview, one in Vestavia. There's one in Montevallo, now Crestline Park. Local pizza, local ingredients. Get and see the Bajayas, the late Jeff's heavenly birthday. I saw it yesterday on social media. So shout out, pour one out for Jeff Bajaya. But go and see his brothers Jason and Chris. Tell them the next round sent you.
All right, LT. If you're in the Miami, coaches meetings this week, and you're preparing for Texas A&M, how much of old Bobby Petrino tape are you watching? Bobby Petrino calling games, Bobby Petrino offense. Are you focused just on Jimbo Fisher? Rockstar, we're working our way towards cut number 8 here. Do you go back and look at some old Petrino stuff? Do you think we're going to get even a little bit more Bobby Petrino-esque A&M offense this week in their big challenge down in Miami?
I mean, offenses have obviously changed so much in the last decade, but when you go back to his latter Arkansas teams, they had 2 or 3 great receivers on all of those teams. So, I would think schematically there's still going to be some of that. I didn't watch them in depth enough, and I don't really remember what Arkansas was running back in the day.
Yeah, it was hard for me. I watched a lot of the first half, but it was hard for me to say, oh, that looks like Arkansas, or that looks like Louisville. It just looked like, I don't know, like Texas A&M with a better offense, I mean, that's what I saw.
But I think you probably have to.
Yeah.
Jimbo's not as stubborn as he's made out to be, he said in the news conference this week, and so that means a little bit more Bobby Petrino's flavor than maybe some people think. Mario Cristobal not being fooled by this either. He knows that he's got a talented OC coming down to Coral Gables.
What challenges does a Bobby Petrino offense pose?
Well, it's a lot of years of great offenses, right? And he's done it every way imaginable, right? He knows how to use his pieces. He's got some really good pieces over there. They got off to a great start. They've got a great quarterback, and he's got some great supporting cast members, I should say. So, the most important thing is making sure that we study film really, really well, and that our plan is as airtight as it could be to give our players the best chance to play fast and free.
True or not, he'd feel better about this game, Mario Cristobal would, if Jimbo Fisher was calling plays like he did last year and Bobby Petrino was not on this
They should have won that game last year, by the way, in College Station. They outgained them 2-1.
Yeah, disgusting game last year, though, 17-9, and that was Jimbo Fisher's offense on display last year. So, he would much rather Jimbo be calling this game.
How many games of offense would you guess Bob Petrino has called in his career? It's easily in the hundreds.
Easily.
And, Lance Guidry is the first-year defensive coordinator at Miami. Came from Marshall, where he was a defensive coordinator for 1 year. So you've literally got a guy that feels like he's done it forever versus a guy that's still, he's still in his diapers as a defensive coordinator. So that is an interesting matchup there in this game. Now, Cristobal obviously has a defensive background. So, as a player, he coached offensive line as a coach. So you can lean on Cristobal a little bit, but it is an interesting matchup. I'm fascinated by this game.
Look, I had the other side of Miami this past weekend. It was one of my losses at lanceslock.com. Make sure you jump on. Tyler Van Dyke, though, going into that game, he had a finger issue. And watching him, he looked really good at moments, and then he looked a little off. And you wonder if that finger issue continues to linger and it becomes a problem against A&M. Henry Parrish Jr. is going to be – if Miami is going to win this game, he's got to go 120-plus on the ground.
Tyler Van Dyke yesterday officially trademarked Tyler Van Dime. The trademark was approved yesterday.
Horrible week to do that.
Yeah, he needs to get a little better.
It does feel like that was poorly timed.
I mean, that is something you let leak out or announce Monday after you've won the game.
Yeah.
You don't do it week of your biggest non-conference game of the year.
Tyler Van Dime.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they're having to do buy one, get one free tickets. Does he think he's going to sell Tyler Van Dime gear to that hot Miami football program fan base?
Boy, if I'm Mario Cristobal, I'm on his ass about that.
Yeah. Tyler Van Dead could be the T-shirts. TVD, all right down there. Your headline for Friday can be Aggies pack penicillin for TVD transmission. I don't know.
What?
Working on
more words. You gotta have more words.
Were you workshopping that live?
I
Jimmy?
was live on
Hey,
air.
better Aggies plug Dyke.
My alarm went off early today, so I'll get a little punchy before this thing is over with.
You may pour you a chicken cock.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Here's the most amazing thing, and Little T sent this out last night, right after LT tells us about our friends at Bromberg's. Chasing that ring, chasing that diamond, you find it any great gift at Bromberg's.
Yeah, look, great selection of watches there as well. 2 locations right here at the Summit, the one in Mountain Brook. Of course, you can always shop online, brombergs.com, but if you're in the market to pop that question, you can do it with the diamond specialist, Ed Brombergs, family-owned and operated since 1836. Nothing like giving or getting that silver box from our friends at Brombergs.
Okay, I'm going to roll through this.
What's funny?
How do I just throw in words? Here's your headline. Tyler Van Dead of STD with no penicillin in Miami. I'm out.
Stop the presses.
You're just randomly throwing out words.
This blew me away last night when Little T sent this out. Shedeur Sanders is now projected to make $3.8 million through NIL this year.
Good for him.
Up $2.5 million just since the win against TCU on Saturday. The cash is rolling in. Sanders, and this is from On3 Sports. They have their NIL tracker. Sanders' projected NIL earnings. This last part's what gets me. Not that he's making that much money because Bryce Young made $5 million, right? But he's going to make $3.8 million. Sanders' projected NIL earnings is over $2 million more than Dak Prescott's base salary this season to quarterback the Dallas Cowboys. It gets worse. It's nearly $3 million more than Joe Burrow's current base salary this season to quarterback the Cincinnati Bengals. But wait, it gets worse. It's also nearly $3 million more than both Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence's base salaries this season of $1,940,000 to quarterback their team. Those are some damn good NFL quarterbacks right there.
Who got signing bonuses.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah, that's the difference. Now, this is on 3's NIL valuations, right? This is not saying he's making this money. This is saying this is what he's worth on the market. Yeah, okay.
So I wonder, though, on top of that, all you see now, I mean, right in front of us, they're not talking. Earlier, they were talking about Colorado. All you see right now when people are talking about college football nationally is Colorado.
It's the biggest story.
What has it been worth to their brand already hiring Dion?
A ton.
Oh.
A ton.
I mean, I can't imagine.
When's the last time you
millions
watched a Colorado game?
That's right. And you're going to
I watched every play Saturday, and I'll do it again this Saturday.
Second in the ratings this week at 11 o'clock, only beat by the primetime Sunday night standalone game. And the numbers will be through the roof this week because it's bringing in fans who are not college football fans. It's bringing in some of the NFL audience as well, which is huge for them. We'll talk to our NIL guy, Elijah McAllister. I made sure I threw out those NIL numbers before we hooked up with Elijah there. Didn't want that price to go up. The show brought to you by our friends at Odie's, where it is what?
Wednesday night.
Trivia.
What is that? Yeah, trivia. Rockstar. Ryan Brown, Will Haver, they'll be there. Getting started a little after 8 o'clock. Make sure you get there early. Enjoy some of the great food from Rodney Davis, award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, including that Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light. Again, Odie's Tim Trivia tonight, 8 o'clock, Crestline location. But don't forget, new location in Homewood as well. It's Odie's Tavern.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Doering now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
The extra hours of sunshine are back on the clock, and that means it's time for golf at Timberline, a short drive from Birmingham or Montgomery. Go to timberlinegc.com, timberlinegc.com to book your tee times, schedule a lesson, or just drop by and use the TrackMan technology on the driving range. The course is always fun, in great shape, and you can even become a member. Get all the details at timberlinegc.com. It's time to get your golf on with our friends at Timberline.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies, get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store, that's nextround.store.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
As summer starts to fade, get ready to welcome the arrival of fall. But hey, it's not just football season making an entrance. In the world of pest, it's fall invader season. Hold on tight because we've got 4 major troublemakers stepping into the spotlight. Box elder bugs, kudzu bugs, ladybugs, and stink bugs. These pests don't just knock, they barge in like they own the place. But fear not, dial up Wayne's Pest Control now, 865-588-6686, and let's show those fall invaders who's boss. Don't let pests crash your party. Take charge today.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
About to talk to Elijah McAllister about Auburn. I'll tell you one thing, NASCAR fast is what Auburn was there. I think, was it 50 plays they ran early on? Forget the clock rules. You don't even need a clock with Hugh Freeze's offense. They expect that speed to continue when they need that this year. Speaking of NASCAR fast, racing coming back to Talladega Super Speedway October 1st, playoff time, Yellowwood 500, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com for tickets. That also gets you to the concert to see Hardy on Saturday night there. All the details online and those tickets, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
All right, it's time to talk a little Auburn football as he does at this time each week. Our guy Elijah McAllister, the Auburn running back, is with us. He's presented each week by Craneworks. The big guy says, look to the big dog. Craneworks and Rental Works. Welcome in, Elijah. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing awesome. Thanks a lot. Congrats on the win, week 1. You would evaluate the defensive performance how against UMass?
You know, it wasn't to our standard. I think the score didn't reflect how we didn't play to our standard. I know there's a ton of room for improvement, which we have been working on so far in practice, and excited to kind of put that on tape this weekend.
So this weekend, you guys play a late game. Your coach kind of voiced, I don't want to say his displeasure, but he said, hey, if I was around, we wouldn't be scheduling West Coast teams like this. Have you ever been that far out west, and are you guys looking forward to playing in a Pac-12 venue?
Yeah, I mean, to answer your first question, I played my previous school last year. We had a trip to Hawaii. Week 0.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
never mind.
That's a long trip.
That was a long flight and a long trip. But again, it's all about preparation. We have people in place that are going to help us with that. And I think as a unit, we're excited to play another game this week, and we're excited to go represent the SEC against a Pac-12 opponent and do our best and see what we turn out in.
Having that experience, will you talk to the guys about how it can change your body? The whole 9:30 local time body when you kick this thing off.
Yeah, you definitely got to put an emphasis on making sure a body clock is ready to play a game that late and continue your energy levels throughout the duration of the game, because it is different as far as the time zone. But again, with great preparation, I don't really allow it to hold too much stock in our brain, because at the end of the day, it's about football, and the game stays the same whether you play it at midnight, whether you play it at noon, still ball.
Elijah McAllister to still ball. I like it. He is with us courtesy of Craneworks. The big guy says look to the big dog for Craneworks and RentalWorks. But being at the hotel all day on Saturday, that's got to be tough. I mean, give me as best you can what you will do to keep from just laying around and wanting to nap or dozing or whatever. How do you stay fresh when you got to fill time? I guess you guys would leave the hotel around, 6 Central Time? I mean, how do you feel that?
Yeah, honestly, the best part about having a night game or a game that late is you get another day to prepare and another day to watch film. So I try not to lay in bed all day during night games and later games because I kind of feel a little sluggish. So I wake up the same time early, get breakfast, get a stretch in. I'll watch a couple of the other games that are going on. I got a couple friends that play on different teams and watch a few of their games just for a little bit to show my support. And then I watch more film when the team are playing. Then kind of, get off my feet a little bit as we get closer to leaving the hotel and getting ready for the game. But I definitely won't sit in the room all day because then you feel a little sluggish.
Can you give us real quick? Can you give us a couple friends that you'll watch? I'm curious as to who you're stopping to watch that's playing for other teams.
Yeah, I mean, I got friends all across the country. I got my boy Sheeta. He plays defensive end at Boston College. My guy Jaden Gould, he plays DB at Syracuse. I got a couple boys. Malik Langham plays D-line at Purdue. Rashawn Wilkins plays D-line at UConn. So I'm just bouncing around all, and obviously I still got a couple friends at Vandy. So I'm just bouncing around the whole college football world and trying to watch who I can watch, as long as it doesn't, conflict with our game.
I hate to tell you this. You'll be watching your Vandy team over eggs and bacon because it's 10 a.m. Central Time for their kick at Wake Forest, so that'll be 8 o'clock. I mean, will you even be out of the rack at 8 o'clock, or you watch that in bed?
I'll probably still be in my mobility circuit, so I'll try to catch a little bit of it at least.
I didn't watch a ton of it, but I did have it on. It was Cal in North Texas, and I know it was North Texas, but it was still in Denton on the road. This Cal team looked physical. We were talking about Jaden Ott, their running back earlier, 188 yards, but they had 357 as a team on the ground. When you watch California, do they look like a physical team to you guys?
Yeah, I think Cal did a great job last week against North Texas running the football and the Madison. Obviously, you said the yardage total. The emphasis going into the year for us as far as our team was always to stop the run, and that doesn't change versus who we play. The emphasis maybe put on from the outside looking in, like, we got to stop the run because they amassed a ton of yards last week. But that was always our goal as a team going into the year. So it's still an emphasis for us, and we're excited to, showcase that this Saturday.
Back on Saturday, UMass scores on that first drive. What did you learn about you and your teammates on the defensive side of the ball for what went on the rest of the game?
I think, football, anytime you can clean up your mistakes and not shoot yourself in the foot and not, lose the down yourself, then you normally, end up on the right side of the scoreboard or the right side of the down, right side of the possession. So that first possession, honestly, we just didn't do things that we, were doing in practice the whole week and didn't do things that were, like a representation of who we are as a defense. And there was a lot of mistakes, different things that we needed to clean up on. We kind of settled down after that first possession and got better, as you saw throughout the game. Kind of, created some turnovers, created some havoc. So it was nice to do that, to settle in finally. But that first possession was not fun, as you guys can imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm always interested in learning about preparation and stuff, having not played the game at the level that you've played it. When you watch game tape, say preparing for Cal, how much of that do you do on your own, or is it in a group meeting or group setting? And do you feel like you can absorb things when you're watching by yourself, or is it better to absorb things in a group setting?
Yeah, I think in a group setting, the coaches do a great job of giving us everything that we need to do to have a surface level kind of understanding of what the offense is trying to do for us during the week, but really to hone in on the details and become a better player individually and make sure you can be the best player for yourself. And then in turn to help the defense as a whole, you need to take some time out by yourself at night after practice, watching the game tape from last week of yourself, watching the game tape of the team you're about to play, watching the practice film so that you can understand who you are as a player, what you can improve on the next week, and also tendencies from the offense that you can pick up on so you can play faster on Saturday. So I think, you need to understand and listen and really take in everything the coach is telling you throughout the meetings during the week before practice, but they only have so much time. So you need to take the time for yourself as an athlete, as a player, if you want to be the best, to do that on your own.
I don't know how to ask this question, but what level of pianist are you? You play the piano. How good at it are you?
I'm pretty good. I'd say, I don't know. Like,
I mean, John Legend to Elton John.
I don't know. I'd say I'm just your, if you ever saw an organist or a pianist in a church, an old church or Amy Zion church, they can play any song the praise and worship team sings, and they can, obviously I pick up things from YouTube as well. So I feel like I'm pretty solid. Like, it won't take me too long to pick up on a song and start playing it. A lot of my family can play instruments, and we all, can play piano, drums, bass, guitar, everything in between. And a lot of us, learn how to play music through ear by ear. So I'm really one of the few who took a course at my previous school to learn how to read music, because a lot of it's just by ear and repetition and remembrance.
Is it up-tempo Christian music you're referencing here? Because I've seen an 88-year-old grandmother bang out Old Rugged Cross. So
I can play that too, but I'm more of the upbeat kind of song and dance. Get excited about what God's doing in people's lives, and not play those more up-tempo ones because I like to dance myself. So yeah,
he's got it all. He dances too. I was going to ask you, if we walked in to a place with a grand piano and I was like, oh man, Elijah could tear it up. Show him what you got. Give me your go-to song. Like, everybody knows this, and I can really bang it out and impress people. What's the go-to song?
And can you sing along with it? Are you a good singer?
So I used to sing when I was younger, but as I got older, I kind of got embarrassed by doing it because, it's it's not cool when you're from 11 to 16, 17 years old. It's not cool to be a singer. It's kind of oh, my goodness. What would I play?
Yeah. This is your go-to now. We got to impress people here. We're like, boy, Elijah. Well,
hey, if you've got a Casio keyboard, bust it out and give us a little song.
That may be next week.
Next week.
What song I really like that I enjoy? You talked about John Legend. I really like "Ordinary People" by John Legend. It took me forever to learn how to play it. Honestly, it took me about 4 or 5 months to learn how to really get it down and play it. YouTube, taking time at night, an hour a day, trying to learn. Am I going to read music? Going to play it by ear? So that's probably my go-to song because I feel like everybody knows it. And I listen to it before every game. It's also just a song that I enjoy because I like John Legend.
Are you like a hidden show choir guy, like dance and sing, like Pitch Perfect? Have you seen the movie Pitch Perfect?
Yeah, I've seen it. I wouldn't say I'm up there on that level, but I mean, I grew up obviously in a church and sang in all the choirs and, singing in different gospel groups and doing different things. So that's kind of my background and how I grew up. And I still have it in my heart. I don't do it as often because football takes so much time, but I still do it.
All right, we're going to coax it out of him before the season's over. He'll play a song for us. He is Elijah McAllister, the Auburn Jack linebacker, on his way to Cal this weekend. Best of luck against the Bears, Elijah, and we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday.
Thank you. See you guys soon. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Take care, man. Take care. Elijah with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline, like our Tyler Booker interview. His is presented by our friends at Craneworks and RentalWorks. Both of those big guys say when it comes to crane rentals or all the equipment you need to do all that yard work, the excavating, all that, Craneworks and RentalWorks, the big guys say look for the big dog. Yeah. I was throwing Scott off there. I was looking at the camera. I was not on. Then I looked at the camera right as he changed it, and then I went back to the camera.
Then you started to...
You never know where I'm going, Scott. I could look at Dunaway's camera. You never know.
Then you started, Tyler Van Dead wobbling like you're on a high rope. I didn't know where you were going to go.
STD kills Tyler Van No Penicillin.
We've got our sneaky good game coming up in the final hour. That's our last guest today, so we'll get to that. And we got a special friends in from HydroLife. We'll tell you more about them in just a second as we get ready for the big games coming up. Rockstar Cut 1 before we hit the top of the hour here, Jalen Milroe. How do you think Jalen Milroe, if you're Jalen Milroe, and I say, Jalen, how do you think you played on Saturday night? How would you answer?
I think for the first game with a new offensive coordinator, I think it was a solid outing, but I think I can play much better.
What about you, Jalen?
I'd probably say, look, I was more concerned about our team goals. We didn't meet all those team goals, but we won the football game, and that's what matters the most. I am interested, my level of play, into what I contribute to the team winning. We won the football game. That's what's important. But I got to make sure I do my job better every single week to make sure we win all the games we play.
In this part of Match Game, brought to you by Moore's Marinade, let's see who's closest.
After you got a chance to rewatch the game, what were just your overall takeaways of your performance?
I think it was a start. It's a start for everything. And the one thing I want to do is just improve. That's the one thing that I wanted to do was appreciate the win, number one, but also look in the mirror and try to look at, hey, how can I be a better leader? How can I be a better passer? How can I be more efficient? So just overall, just trying to improve. And then I know and I trust the offensive staff to just push me every day to be the best version of myself. And, I trust Coach Reese to push me, and me and him are going to get together and try to improve.
I like that kid, man.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to say Lance was closest. But,
hey, I'll tell you that it's non-traditional, but I like that hoodie. I think
you like the old
Jimmy
gray hoodie?
Bama should get that.
Yeah.
No, every cut
you don't like it?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Every cut we've played from him, I've liked him. Yeah. So, and I know. Listen, I've been in the front of the line of doubting the guy. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't, but now that he's playing, man, I'm really pulling for him because so many people have doubted him. I hope he does well.
Those that deep ball really pretty.
He did, man. I'm telling you, I passed a night. Like I texted. Well, I shouldn't repeat that.
I don't really. Yeah.
Klatt had not watched him yet, but Klatt's response when I said, "Have you watched Milroe yet?" You told us you could watch him. He said, "I haven't gotten it yet." His response was funny. I'd like to share it on the show, but I don't want to betray his trust either.
Yeah. Don't betray the trust. Top of the hour. That's our Moore's Marinade. Try to match the answer today. Moore's Marinade.
I'll tell you what's unmatched. Dunaway.
Right. It's the flavor of Moore's.
The flavor
Marinade.
of Moore's when you're back there in that backyard grilling this football season. Your secret sauce for grilling success, Moore's Marinade. My wife has already requested steaks on Friday night. Woo! Hey, my neighborhood. You'll go.
We know what that means. You're
gonna. Is Jesus returning? And I'm going to nope, not yet. That's coming. But I'm just grilling steaks in my backyard. Everybody try to settle down, okay?
Yes.
Everybody try to settle down.
It's about replenishing, not repenting.
We'll have some Moore's Marinade going because it is the best for the grilling in the backyard there, especially this football season. And don't forget their buffalo wing sauce, adding perfectly tangy flavor that will keep you licking your fingers even after the wings are gone. Dip, drizzle, or slather Moore's buffalo wing sauce on everything you eat. Chicken fingers, burgers, sandwiches, pizza, pasta, tacos, fries, and more. See why grill masters perform Moore's Marinades and wing sauces.
The Angels.
And the Angels. Visit mooresmarinades.com for recipe ideas and grilling inspiration. That is mooresmarinade.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Do you need extra cash handy? Look no further than Legacy Credit Union for whatever loan your lifestyle requires. It only takes a few minutes to apply and request the amount you need to give you peace of mind. With affordable low rates and manageable payback plans, a Legacy Lifestyle loan is crafted just for you. Apply online today at LegacyCreditUnion.com/join. Lifestyle loans from Legacy. Terms and conditions may apply. Legacy is federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Doering now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
As summer bids adieu, get ready to welcome the arrival of fall. But hey, it's not just football season making an entrance. In the world of pests, it's fall invader season. Hold on tight, because we got 4 major troublemakers stepping into the spotlight: box elder bugs, kudzu bugs, ladybugs, and stink bugs. These pests don't just knock, they barge in like they own the place. But fear not, dial up Wayne's Pest Control now, 865-588-6686, and show those fall invaders who's boss. Don't let pests crash your fall. Take charge today.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The next round is brought to you in part by the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR, Talladega Superspeedway. This beast is 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and always puts on a great show for the fans. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming and you do not want to miss it. Saturday, September 30th is the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, followed by Sunday's Yellowwood 500 and the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs. Be there to see drivers battle 500 miles to survive. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Well, big night in baseball last night. Jose Altuve had a 3-home run game. Giancarlo Stanton hit his 400th home run. And the baseball playoffs get to the final month of the regular season, not too far away. That wild card race in the National League, including the Cubs, will go down to the wire. Just a fun little run there in baseball. This is the month in baseball. I love it. I love it when we get to the playoffs, when we have a little bit of baseball, football mixture. But this month of the regular season, until we get to the end, it gets lost a little bit in all the football.
It does. Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch one pitch of that Braves-Dodgers series, and that was a great turned out to be kind of a one-sided series. I ended up watching the Sunday game just because I couldn't get CBS.
Oh, you could get the college football, so you went to the baseball,
But I'm not really interested in baseball until we get to October now. This month really does nothing for me.
Buster coming up tomorrow at 10.
Yeah, no, I mean, Buster makes it interesting, and I look forward to talking to him tomorrow. Trent Dilfer of UAB on the show tomorrow. Dan Orlovsky talking about the start of the NFL.
Roman Harper
on the show tomorrow. Roman Harper on the show tomorrow. Already today, Chris Doering and Elijah McAllister. You get that wherever you get us podcasted this hour. Always brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken, right there on Highway 119. Sterling and the crew ready to serve up that Mississippi Delta recipe tamale, center top picture there. Perfect to take on the road, easy to eat at a tailgate, but also those hand-cut chicken fingers and deep-fried chicken. Imagine rolling to your tailgate for that or bringing a big pan of that home to watch the games all Saturday long. It's all right there, champyschecken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. We'll tell you more about what's going on here. Our friends at HydroLive are back here in just a second.
You're not just showing your pipe for no reason at all.
I mean, I know it was a distraction. I was just showing off the tattoo is all I was doing. Yeah,
don't let the women slip into sin, Jimmy D. Cover that thing up.
Truthfully, I forgot I'd pulled up my shirt. So.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I saw Lacey eyeballing that tattoo.
Oh yeah.
She's like, long what?
Hey, Lacey, Jim's spoken for. Yeah, settle down. Okay?
You probably have some girlfriends who have the same tattoo. Yeah. See, I hear you. Texas flavor.
Is that where most chicks get their tattoo?
Yeah. Where?
Right here.
Look, Dunaway did?
Right here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, same spot.
Yeah. Just met her and she's taking shots. Love it. Texas flavor in this game, especially for Alabama. You brought this up yesterday. Jalen Milroe, but Jace McClellan, Jalen Hell, and a couple other Alabama players from Texas. You know, we talk about Alabama versus Auburn back in the day because you had so many players who played each other in high school. And for Auburn, Georgia, you have a lot of Auburn players from Georgia. Have those games mean so much, those rivalry games. For these kids, you know, not saying this game is bigger for Jalen Milroe than the Auburn game. Not bigger for Jace McClellan than the Auburn game, but this game is huge for them.
You grew up in the state of Texas. I guarantee you all you hear is Longhorns. And how many people do you think have told Jalen Milroe over the years, Dunaway, you know, listen, man, I always pulled for you in high school. I can't believe you wouldn't come play for the Longhorns. And, I'm going to pull for the Longhorns when you're playing the Longhorns. Yeah, I love you, Jalen. I mean, he's probably tired of hearing that, don't you think? He's probably heard about how he should have stayed and played for the Longhorns. And, I would imagine this game's probably as personal for Jalen Milroe as anybody in this game.
How many Texas players do you think are on this team?
On the Bama team?
Yep.
85-man roster, I would say 8 Texas players.
Very close, Brown. What do you think, Dunaway?
I think it's 6.
It is 9.
9 Texas players.
10,
Alabama has done well
10,
recruiting there. 10 Texas.
10.
Did they just add one?
I just didn't get down to the special teams. You've got a freshman long snapper from Southlake, Texas.
So Nick Saban is updating the health issues here at Alabama.
Yeah, it's SEC teleconference day, and this is off camera where he's able to sit there. So tell me.
All right, so Nick Saban says, this is from our buddy Mike Rodak, who is now covering the Crimson Tide for 24/7 Sports, formerly of AL.com. Nick Saban on Malachi Moore and Jalen Key. Now, those are big injuries to watch for Alabama.
Especially against this receiving corps.
Quote, they're able to practice. The big question is, how close can they get to 100% by game time? That's not something we can comment on until they get to that point. I'm just telling you, man, if they're already practicing, that seems to be a really big positive step in the right direction, because Saturday night, you maybe didn't feel like it would be going that way Saturday night.
And we don't report rumors, but there was some buzz that maybe they had the
old
tightrope surgery, which isn't, you don't play Saturday.
No, you're out 3 to 4 weeks on that one. So you're very happy that was not true. There was that rumor was going around about Malachi Moore specifically, because it appeared to be a high ankle sprain, and that has been the surgery of choice for the high ankle sprains in Tuscaloosa.
To get back quicker, but if Nick Saban is being truthful, and he usually is, and they're already out practicing, that means he did not get the tightrope.
Jihad Campbell, the linebacker, according to Nick Saban, has progressed well and should be able to play against Texas, barring a setback. He's already out practicing. So for injury news, that's about as positive as you were going to get today out of Nick Saban in the SEC teleconference.
All right, sneaky good game coming up in a moment, but that health update brought to you by our friends at Hydra Live. They're in studio with us now. You're starting to get an IV. I'm going to get a Big 12 shot. We had IVs for a lot of the workforce up here today. Hydra Live, they actually come to your business or home.
Hey, we've got 4 IVs going right now. It looks like a MASH unit if you walk around the offices here.
You're going to wonder what we're doing in this place.
Disrupt. But Hydra Live Therapy, I was just talking to Lacey about it. So not only the newest location in Greystone, obviously one in Homewood, but if you're heading to Tuscaloosa this weekend, whether it's Friday or Saturday, you get up early, you need to get rehydrated for the big game, you can do it at any of these locations, and membership has its privileges. The benefits travel out of state. There's one in Nashville I know about. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy. It's all under one roof. They're open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you can't make it out, again, you see Lacey is here at our office. They can come to the home. They can come to the office. For more information, HydraLifeTherapy.com. Make sure you mention Next Round at checkout. Save 20% off any service. You can also follow them on Facebook and Instagram at HydraLifeTherapy.
All right. Hey, new AP poll came out yesterday at the end of the show to start the post show. Georgia stays number 1. They lose 2 first-place votes. Michigan has 2. Alabama is up to 3. Florida State all the way up to 4, and they had 3 first-place votes. You make no bones about it. That's the way you would do it.
Absolutely. Reese Davis was one of the first-place votes for Florida State. Brett McMurphy was the other, and I can't remember the third guy, but I did look to see who voted. I would have had Florida State number 1. Absolutely. One of the questions I was asked, and some people are upset with me. I don't know why. It's my vote. But they think it's a stupid way to vote, and I think Dunaway does too. One of the questions I was asked is, where would I have Duke? Would I have them in the top 10? Or no, somebody was like, you have to have Duke number 2 the way you vote. I don't have to, no. And I would not have Duke number 2. I would have them higher, I think, than the AP voted them.
So 1, 2, 3, and 4 I think are perfect.
Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Florida State.
I think I would put Washington at 5.
Okay.
And then Ohio State, USC, Penn State, that all makes sense to me.
Yeah, Ohio State is 5, USC is 6, Penn State 7, Washington 8, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Texas is 11. They come to Tuscaloosa. Utah is 12, Oregon 13, LSU drops only to 14. And
I'd have dropped them more.
But truthfully, if you're giving such great respect to the number 1 team in the country, is how you have them,
right.
then 14's about where you would have them. I question whether even dropping them too far out of the top 10. 14 may have been a little further than I would have dropped them, but they didn't look that bad in the first half.
No, they didn't. But it's a 60-minute game, and they looked that bad in the second half.
Kansas State, Oregon State, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Ole Miss at number 20. Duke is 21, Colorado's 22. They're in. More on them in a second. A&M's 23, Tulane 24, and Clemson all the way down to 25. And
I'll probably drop them out.
That's reputation only.
There's no doubt
you kept them in just because they were the name brand of Clemson. So I ask you the question, Duke and Colorado, fair to have them in? Yes. Should they be higher?
Well, I mean, here's the conundrum when you're voting is how do I know that Duke beating Clemson is a better win than Colorado beating TCU?
You don't.
You don't, right?
But if you're comparing rosters, you know all of this is subjective because they didn't play the game.
Yep.
So you would say I think Clemson's roster is better than TCU's roster.
I vote like Clay votes. We were talking with Clay Travis the other day, and he votes the same way I vote. Is that I only go by what I have seen on the field, and Florida State, I think, had the best win of week 1, and I thought they looked the best doing it. Like, I would have dropped Ohio State. Ohio State did not look good. Ohio State looked like a 2 or 3 loss team Saturday, to me. But there again, that is subjective, and that's just me watching the game saying, I just don't think they look good.
How many top 25s did we have lose last week?
We had 3.
Yeah, I think we have 5 this week.
Well, you got a lot of top 25 on top 25 for one thing.
Tell us about Hemphill, and then tell me the 5 teams that could get flushed down a drain that's working thanks to our friends at Hemphill.
Yeah, again, 0% for 60 months for qualified customers, plus free 10-year labor warranty. When you mention next round, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemphill Services, official train dealer for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Trust the name Birmingham's trusted since 1954. Hemphill Services, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
See, Jeff is right in the chat room. This is one of the problems about voting is, like, most people that had TCU in their preseason don't believe in TCU, but they're like, they were number 2 last year. I can't drop them all the way out of the poll. So when Colorado beat them, you're like, yeah, I didn't believe in them anyway, so I dropped them all the way out. Well, then why are you putting Colorado in?
Yeah,
That's the way you do
it. That's the way you do it, though.
Yeah, but I do it that way. I don't have any. I try not to have any preconceived notions.
Yeah, but I believe that no matter how you try to explain the way you vote a poll, that's a subjective poll, you can talk yourself into a circle.
Oh, there's no anybody can. Yes,
yeah,
there's
exactly.
no doubt.
No matter how you vote, you can talk your way into a corner.
Because I don't.
Eventually, it comes down to because I think so.
Right, and I don't believe that Georgia deserves to be number 1 just because they were the national champion last year. I've never believed that you ought to be number 1 till you lose. Well, why should I vote that way? What if Georgia plays absolutely nobody and they're not as good as last year? I don't think they're the number 1 team in the country. But here's the ultimate thing about this. All this stuff shakes out in the end.
It does.
Like, if I voted Duke number 2 today, if Duke wins all 12 of their regular season games and wins the ACC, are they in the playoffs?
Yes.
100% they are.
Yeah.
But you know what? If they lose 3 games, I'm not going to keep them at number 2. So what does it matter where I have them in week 1? That's what I don't understand about all the blowback on this.
I don't understand where we are in all the television contracts you guys are talking about in the chat room. Cincinnati and Pitt nationally on CW this week, 5:30 p.m. And then SMU Oklahoma doesn't have a home. They're on ESPN Plus. I guess that is their home. You guys are making fun of old CW shows, One Tree Hill, Dawson's Creek.
Cincinnati Pitt.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Cincinnati Pitt, all right there.
Gilmore Girls after the game. Stick around.
Sneaky good game today. Our spotlight being brought to you by our friends at Shannara Flooring. Rockstar, get ready to hit the big button after Brownie tells us about Shannara Flooring.
Shannara Flooring is where Rockstar went. You know what Rockstar had buried underneath that floor? It was a bad CW show. That's what it was, and Cord kept tripping over it.
Yeah,
you remember that?
It kept falling into Dawson's Creek.
Yep.
He bust his head on the One Tree Hill, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So what'd you do?
Luckily,
there?
the Gilmore girls were there to help him.
Yeah, but so was Shannara Flooring Rockstar. What was your experience like with them?
Oh, Foo Good Men came over and took care of my padding, gave me a good, nice pad on there and some carpet that I got to play with Cord on. I was on there yesterday with him, and as he tumbles over, he's learned to spin now. He can spin on free, but notices when you spin a lot, it kind of makes you
dizzy.
Yeah,
so he falls on the carpet again.
Yeah, we start to cry. So this our new trick we're doing on the new carpet.
Homewood Carpeted Flooring is what they used to be known. They're known as Shannara Flooring now. Rockstar mentioned Foo and you. Still doing it right there. Foo and the gang at Shannara Flooring. They offer the best tile, the best hardwoods, the best carpet, the best LVP and LVT, the best countertops and specialty flooring in all of Birmingham. Whether residential, like Rockstar, or commercial, they do it all. ShannaraFlooring.com. That is ShannaraFlooring.com. Or call 205-518-6423. Foo and you at Shannara Flooring.
Yeah. I love when Rockstar sings Cher songs and replaces words with foo. I believe in foo. I got you, foo.
Yep.
I mean, just great songs.
I got foo, babe.
I got foo, babe.
Yes.
I got foo, babe.
Yeah.
All right, Rockstar. Spotlight time. Let's hit it.
The College Football Spotlight.
This weekend's sneaky good game.
And as always, brought to you there by Foo and You. Brownie, sneaky good game for you.
Jimmy D, I am going to go to the 11 a.m. window. Rockstar got to see Troy in person last week, and they've got the leading rusher in the nation after 283 rush yards.
Little Apple.
We're in the Little Apple. Kansas State has a trip to Missouri in the SEC next week. Wonder if there's a touch of look ahead to play an SEC team. Coach Summerall's defense got to get a little bit better. Stephen F. put 30 on them. But I think this has a chance to be an entertaining game, as you see here, 11 a.m. on FS1, the Trojans of Troy at Kansas State.
Yeah, I think it could be a good game, too.
The point spread tells you maybe not. 16.5, I think, is what K-State is favored in this one.
Yeah. Now do Colorado last week.
Yeah, exactly. But I think FS1, it's got a chance to be an entertaining game here, Troy and Kansas State.
Could be entertaining. I was hesitant. I did not, I put local. I didn't put a little pink there on our TV guide that it was a, one you should watch.
Sneaky good, though, Jim.
But it is sneaky good,
Sneaky
absolutely.
Good.
What about you? Sneaky good game.
4:15 ACC Network. How many people are going to be tuned in to Appy State taking on North Carolina? This new and improved Gene Chizik defense, which, by the way, gave up only 649 yards and 61 points to Appalachian State last year. I'll believe it when I can see consistency. Appy State's getting 18.5. Nate Noel running the football, keeping this a little closer than people think. Can you imagine North Carolina now ranked? Everybody talking about Drake May, talking about this new revamped Gene Chizik defense. If they were to lose to Appalachian State,
that'd be a terrible loss. Almost
Appy
did it
State
last year.
45 points last week.
Yep.
I know it was Gardner Webb, but I still think they can score.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you that my sneaky good game, it was described, the atmosphere is 61,000 angry metal cicadas. Starkville, Mississippi, Arizona, Mississippi State. Little offense coming in from Delara at quarterback and the Wildcats. Mississippi State's new look offense with Zach Arnett, honoring Mike Leach and getting a chance to battle Arizona again. Comeback game from last year. That's a sneaky good game going at 6:30 on the SEC Network. A lot of people won't watch it because you got multi-cast going on with Texas and Alabama. But sneak over there. Arizona, Mississippi State. Good game right there with the Cowbells going in Starkville, Mississippi.
Man, I'm as lackluster as last week's TV schedule is. Every window this week is so good. And what we didn't have last week, a good late window, we got an excellent late window Pac-12 After Dark this week.
Yeah, because you got Auburn playing in that window, and you got Stanford and USC.
And Oak State, Arizona State.
Oklahoma State, Arizona State.
And I'm excited about Friday night. Illinois and Kansas.
I almost made that my sneaky good game.
Well, Jason Bean started for Kansas last week, and he played well, but Jalen Daniels is a complete stud. Coming out of Big 12 Media Days, he was your Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year preseason. So that dude can play against this Illinois defense, which didn't look great against Toledo. They found a way to win. I think that's going to be a really good game. I cannot wait. I have decided not to go to Tuscaloosa. I will be on the couch from 11 a.m. until probably 1:30 watching these games.
We're doing post-game.
By the way, App State, North Carolina, I think it's going to be a blowout opposite of last year. I don't think it'd be as good as last year's contest. Hard to beat last year. It was so good. Ole Miss, Tulane, probably not sneaky, Pritch Law. I will tell you this, Tulane announcing today it is a hard sellout for that game there. Small stadium and an SEC team coming to town, but that is a sellout. Trash is coming up in the next segment. Our friends right there at A+ can sort of remake a bathroom or a kitchen. Brownie, I'm told that's where you get the money back.
Well, it's Master Bath and Kitchen, Jimmy D. There is no doubt about it, man. When you go to sell your house, they're going to want to look at that master bath and that kitchen. Now, what you're looking at, if you're watching this on video, is Scott showing you photos of our master bath when we bought our house. And Jennifer and I were like, okay, we'll redo this. We're not crazy about it. We don't like all the bright white colors. We wanted a darker bathroom, so my wife scoured the internet. She talked to certain contractors, people that use other contractors. We got people doing bids, and we picked Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. Am I so glad we did? I am. Brad Bell did tremendous work. His crews were timely, efficient, clean. They did great work there. And they gave us the bathroom that we envisioned, exactly like we envisioned it. Brad didn't try to talk us into something. He said, give me your vision, and I'll follow that. To prove that, let me show you Lance's, because Lance had a darker bathroom. He's like, I'd kind of like mine lighter, and Brad did just that. So he's not like hung up on one way of doing it. He is doing it the way you want it done. A-plus tile home remodeling anywhere in Alabama. They can help you out. I am going to give you Brad's number. If you miss any of this, reach out to me. Master Bath and Kitchens. That's his specialty, and it's where you get your money back. 205-422-1758. That is 205-422-1758.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
You have all heard of Red Wing Shoes, but what is Red Wing Shoes? It's the place where men buy boots, plain and simple. Who are Red Wing's customers? They are construction workers, warehouse employees, college students, the guy that fixes your AC, the guy at the end of the bar, the IT guy. Red Wing is a father, Red Wing is a son, Red Wing is a cult following shared by all men. A classic, comfortable pair of cool boots with a story to tell. What's your Red Wing story? Red Wing Shoe Stores, located in Pelham and Trussville.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com. As summer starts to fade, get ready to welcome the arrival of fall. But hey, it's not just football season making an entrance. In the world of pest, it's fall invader season. Hold on tight, because we've got 4 major troublemakers stepping into the spotlight. Box elder bugs, kudzu bugs, ladybugs, and stink bugs. These pests don't just knock, they barge in like they own the place. But fear not, dial up Wayne's Pest Control now, 865-588-6686, and let's show those fall invaders who's boss. Don't let pests crash your party. Take charge today. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. It's our friends at HydroLive. Mention Next Round at checkout. Save 20% off any service. HydroLive's got 3 locations, Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone.
We've partnered with Who Is Coffee to create the Next Round blend. Available in light, medium, and dark roast. 100% Arabica beans. Specialty coffee roasted on demand. Available in whole bean or ground for drip pods. Espresso and coarse ground for French press. Go to nextround.store to get a link to pre-order today. Everyone that pre-orders will be entered to win a prize pack with coffees, shirts, hats, and tumblers. Nextround.store for the Next Round blend. Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, we roll on. Our friends at Champy's bring you this hour. Champy's Chicken Highway 119 in Alabaster. Love Sterling and the crew down there. Get by and see them all football season for your tailgate and for high school football Friday nights. It's absolutely perfect for you. Trash is coming up in just a second. We get ready for the big games. Everyone's seems to be like, how are you going to be at the Alabama-Texas game? How are you going to watch Auburn and Cal? Well, twofold. I'll have this iPad with me. And I'll be streaming my YouTube TV. One of my favorite things about YouTube TV is that it goes anywhere with me. So I'll have some of that there. But I am a secondary NFL fan. Like, I am a college football fan and then an NFL fan. So I spend a lot of my Sundays going back, and I have unlimited DVRs on my YouTube TV. So I record every SEC football game.
Yeah.
And I go back and rewatch them. Even the ones I watched live, I will go back and watch them and shuttle through commercials and watch them again. So I will catch not only Auburn and Cal, most of it live when I'm done with my duties at Texas, Alabama, but I will go back and rewatch Auburn and Cal again.
I'm projecting us going live on the post game around 1 a.m., you think?
Yeah, our post game, what you're saying is going to be after the Auburn-Cal game.
After Auburn, unless something. We might do a quick hit after Bama, depending on how that game goes, but I think our big show will be late Saturday night, because I anticipate, Bama kicks at 6. I know Auburn doesn't kick till 9:30. You could see that getting pushed back maybe just a little bit. So that Auburn game's probably not over until 12:30, 12:45. We're probably going to hit about 12:45, 1 a.m.
Yep.
That ought to be a fun show.
That's why I'm hydrating.
That's why Lance is he's geared up already on a Wednesday.
He's geared up. Before we get to our trash segment today, again, Hydra Live is here. You're getting ready for another big weekend that's happening for you, and not just watching football. You got some plans this weekend. You want to be ready to go for the weekend, and Hydra Live's helping that happen.
Yeah, IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. You saw Lacey in studio, one of the great nurses at Hydra Live. They can actually come to your house or place of business if you can't make it to one of those two great locations. Greystone, the newest location, Homewood, they're open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Also, don't forget about the Tuscaloosa location. If you're heading down to Tuscaloosa this weekend, you can pregame, get it before, get it after, boost your immune system with Hydra Live Therapy. Make sure you mention Next Round at checkout. You'll save 20% off any service. Again, for more information, HydraLiveTherapy.com. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Hydra Live Therapy.
All right. Getting ready for not only just this weekend, but the NFL, which starts on Thursday night. Michael says, have you guys talked about Kelsey's X-ray and Kelsey's impact moving forward for the Chiefs? Any update on that today? They say his ACL is intact.
It's intact, which is great news. Not practicing, though. I heard a little clip from his brother, Jason, who plays for the Eagles on a Philadelphia station this morning, saying that he feels good. It's just whether or not he can go at game time. I highly doubt, based on where that number has gone, that Travis Kelce is going to play in week 1. And I find this a fascinating game because even before the injury, Rockstar's lines are getting hyped up.
Yeah, they are.
And listening to Louis Riddick talk about him this morning, he's like, even before, I think I would have picked them for the upset. So we'll see. Much like Florida State, they lived up to the expectation. I want to see Detroit with the spotlight on them. Traditionally a terrible organization. Now they're favored to win the NFC North. We'll see what happens on Thursday night, but it should be a fun game.
I would tell you that I'm debating between Goff or Aaron Rodgers in my fantasy league. Is that a real discussion, you think? Or should you go Aaron Rodgers?
It's a real discussion.
Yeah, I think it's yeah. The only thing I would say is I've never seen Goff back it up. Like, he'll have a really good year, shaky year. Really good year, shaky year. He's a good quarterback. I don't know if he's lived up to number 1 overall.
Good quarterback in even years is what you're telling me?
Yeah, 18 Super Bowl.
Yep. Odd season. This is an odd year.
Yeah.
The Lions staff talking about how they're going to use Jahmyr Gibbs in a lot of ways that we're not going to talk about right now. They make it sound like he's the Swiss Army knife. They can use a million different ways.
Somebody got him in our draft up here.
Yeah, I think he's poised to have a good year.
All right, here we go, man. It is trash time every day at this time. Brought to you by Mortgage Right. Hit the big button, Rockstar.
Transferred Miss Caroline.
I asked to request to speak when you were talking.
You're not going to talk. That's
Let me tell you something. You were out of order when you stuck your hand up my daughter's
you're all
shirt.
out of order.
So
Hey,
you
can't be saying that.
You can't be saying that.
You need to leave the meeting.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
You need to leave the meeting.
Hey, are you a veteran looking for a VA loan? Mortgage Right has been advocating for veterans since their company began. It's a veteran-owned, operated company committed to your well-being. They can help you find the best terms available and guide you through every step of the process. Visit their locations, Highway 280 in Birmingham, Parkway Drive in Leeds. You can apply at mortgageright.com/TNR or call 205-815-9200, NMLS 2239. Equal housing lender. So Bullet is about to get dropped off at boot camp over at Creative Dog Training, and he's pissed off about it. He pissed in the vent again this morning in front of me when I was eating breakfast.
How does he know he's getting dropped off?
He can just tell.
How can he tell? The dog lived in the woods. He doesn't have any sort of training on this.
Well, he saw me packing individual baggies with his food. And so he knew something was up.
Ruh-roh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know I'm just a dumb dog that lived in the woods.
Yeah.
But I think we're going somewhere.
So Dr. Stewart, his vet saw him yesterday and said, I think he's a year plus based on the tartar buildup on the teeth. He also said, I don't know if this dog's ever lived indoors.
Wow. Well, he does now.
He's a miracle dog.
He's
Miracle dog.
Now he thinks an air vent's a toilet, but
he does. He does.
Technically, it is a hole.
It is.
Yeah, it does sort of feel good when it's blowing on those special parts.
Boy, and that red rocket is out nonstop. But that was more importantly, knowing that he's a year plus. Dr. Stewart said, hey, look, you can pretty much get him nipped whenever you want.
Charles is right, though. Based on the video Scotty showed us yesterday, him at a place with other dogs could get interesting.
Yeah, well, that's part of it.
He may come home with some kids.
They got to teach the hump out of it. But I'm going to, when he gets back from boot camp, I'm going to get him fixed.
Why don't fix him before he goes to boot camp so he can be trained as a eunuch?
Do they not fix there? Do they not fix at boot camp? They don't got a vet?
Oh, it's a place for doggy daycare and it's a place for boot camp.
They don't have a vet?
training.
Go ahead and get him snipped so the electric shocks are not going to bother him so much.
Should I just put a rubber band around his nuts and then it falls off in the middle of the night?
I think that's the way they do it for cows.
I don't know if that is the way they do it for cows, is it?
I really don't know. I've eaten them. I just don't know how they get them.
So a woman named Barbie Oppenheimer is reportedly having a tough time checking into hotels.
That's not true. There's
Barbara
no way.
Oppenheimer, retired Boston University professor.
It's a real person.
Grandmother of 5 based in Newton, Massachusetts, has quite the summer amid this year's Barbenheimer frenzy.
What are the chances?
In an interview with Slate, Oppenheimer revealed that numerous people thought she was joking when she would say her name out loud. The retiree recalled a specifically confusing moment during a recent vacation saying, quote, when I checked into the hotel, I said, Barbie Oppenheimer. The guy said, you got to be pulling my leg. Now, according to Oppenheimer, her granddaughter now plays with her childhood Barbie doll, her Ken doll, her Skipper doll as well. What the hell's a Skipper doll?
It's Barbie's friend, or it's her younger sister.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A retired professor recalled how she even used to go by the nickname Barbie when she was younger.
How are we going to get deserted island Barbie without a Skipper doll?
Oh, my.
It's a Gilligan doll.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got it, Jim.
Yeah.
So, tourists visiting New York City are going on rat tours to get an authentic Big Apple experience, according to a report by the New York Post.
If you don't see a rat when you're in New York, you're not doing it. OG.
Trust me, all you
Have
got to
you
do
really
is walk through behind one of those pizza joints in an alley, and you'll see one. Kenny Balwark leads free walking late night rat tours, taking routes near Rockefeller Center and in Flushing and Sunnyside, Queens. He went on to say, quote, rats are like a New York mascot. People want to see them for themselves. He also live streams on TikTok as he explores rat-infested parts of the city with up to 10,000 people tuning in at a time.
I can't think of New York rats without thinking of Forrester back there when he was working for the Letterman show, and he said one that was like 2 feet long.
Now, reporter...
How big was it, Scott?
There's some big ones,
Yeah,
mainly in the subways.
Yeah, I mean, if you include tail, the tail's like 8 inches, right?
Yeah, there are some massive ones in the subway.
Hey, did you ever eat at that deli right across the street where you used to do the
Hello Deli?
Yeah, Hello Deli. Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to show them all the time.
What was your to-go-to order at Hello Deli?
It's been a while, Jim.
Turkey Tom.
Turkey.
Turkey Tom.
Were they freaky fast?
Yeah.
Turkey Tom.
So,
add the peppers.
Reported rat sightings doubled in 2022, with city health inspectors documented about 60,000 incidents of rodent activity compared to about 30,000 the year before.
I don't like a rat, man.
I don't know anybody that really likes a rat except Willard. Wasn't the kid Willard that had all the rats?
And Michael Jackson had Ben.
Pigeons are basically rats with wings, too. I don't like them either.
Okay, so McDonald's recently added an unexpected new side to its menu, and it's safe to say social media users have had some strong reactions. Now, the fast food restaurant posted a picture of a small dish filled with corn, captioned, officially entering our buttered corn era.
Yeah, I think this is a stunt.
You gonna eat your thimble of corn? Nah, you can have it.
This is a stunt. There's no way they're serving corn at McDonald's.
Now, while some, as Brown, might think it's a prank at first, the corn has made its way into the online menu. The description reads, a tasty, healthy, and fresh side to pair with any meal.
I'm not sure their beef is corn-fed. I don't want to be corn-fed.
Hey, it's only available at locations in the Philippines. So you guys aren't going to be able to get this side of buttered corn.
That's the kicker. Yeah.
So that's where we shipped our pandemic corn cans.
What is a great side? I was eating at our friends at Taco Mama last night. And
they got good corn.
The side of street corn?
Yeah, it's good.
Street corn is different.
Oh, it's so good.
Canned corn is one thing. Street corn is different.
You like sweet corn?
I've grown to like it.
Yeah.
I hated it when I was a kid.
You like cream corn?
I've grown to dislike it. I
Really?
liked it as a kid.
Well, I
yeah.
like cream corn.
Popcorn?
Popcorn, love.
Caramel corn?
I like all kinds of corn.
Kettle corn.
Kettle corn, the best.
But I would rather have street corn the way they do it.
Yeah. What is on that? Is it?
It's like they put a queso, like a queso fresco, and
Yeah.
then they put a little hot sauce in it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it is. How about this? So the shark attack capital of the world, most people don't know this, is right outside of Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
Volusia County. They confirmed on Monday the same beach had 2 different attacks.
Same shark?
Well, I don't know about that. 37-year-old woman was wading in the ocean. She was bitten on her right foot. A little bit later, according to officials, a man in his 30s was bitten on his hand.
Right hand? Because that's a trend.
Doesn't specify right or left.
The predator always goes right. Got to force him left.
Okay, so people have been waiting on this story. I'll save it for last. Here are some dinner facts for you, though.
All right,
and I've had this story sent to me as much as any story in the history of trash.
The one you're saving for the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Big event coming up.
Okay, dinner facts. 88% of households in America have air conditioning, while only 20% of houses in Europe do.
Yeah, I believe that. Yours smells different than mine, but yes.
Yeah, mine does.
You just cracked me up when you described it like the fountains of the Venetian. He's peeing in that air vent. It's just throwing it up.
I mean, I just don't
Set
know.
it
He's
to
recycling.
music. Yeah.
But I mean, maybe he thinks it's like a trap door. So maybe that's his toilet. Maybe he's trying to be. Either he's dicking around with me and he wants my house to smell like piss, or he thinks that's the right way to do it.
He lived in the woods, right? He's used to just peeing anywhere he wants.
Yeah, but like when he got up this morning, I took him out and he went for like 3 straight minutes, like Tom Hanks in League of Their Own. And then I bring him inside.
In baseball?
He decides to piss again. Made no sense.
Well, make sure you feed him like cranberry juice or something before 4th of July. See if we can get that stream red. So when it starts doing the fountains coming out of the event, it'll be part of. Set it to music. Born in the USA and that kind of stuff.
You've always heard a person is a sheep that follows, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
This is pretty amazing. Do you believe this, Rocky?
I do to an extent, because I think the guy provided an article of showing its proof, his validity.
So in 2005, a sheep jumped off a cliff in Turkey. 1,500 sheep followed one by one.
Yeah.
450 of the sheep died. The rest survived by landing on a soft pile of sheep.
You know,
Damn it.
Supposedly, yeah. If you're the last one.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah. Supposedly, those sheep will eat right off the cliff. Like, they'll just be grazing, and they don't stop. They just go right off the cliff.
So they're pretty smart.
They're dumb animals.
Yeah, I've seen you very hungry, Brown.
Yeah,
if I was moving that plate, you'd eat right off the cliff.
There's times I've wanted to eat right off the cliff. Ain't no doubt.
Hey, in 2021, the King of Spain, Juan Carlos, was given hormones by the Spanish Secret Service to reduce his sex drive, as if it was seen as a state problem.
Guys, this is a state problem. We've got to do this.
Somebody's got to bring it up. I mean, how out of control must he have been if it became a problem?
He's putting up bullet numbers.
Yes. I mean, really,
him and Bullet.
Him and Bullet to get after it.
This is warm.
He's walking down, making that thrusting movement, walking down the government
That's all Bullet
hallway.
does.
I mean, this guy must have been out of control. We have got to get this under control, guys.
What has he got behind that podium?
You know, they got the
Tom, it's
CBD
a
for
Zoom
dogs,
call.
and I had Bullet popping CBD, and it just didn't work. And final dinner fact. In the original 3 Wishes story from 1001 Nights, the man uses his first wish to make his junk gigantic, his second wish to accidentally remove his junk altogether, and his third wish, of course, to get his original junk back.
That's some wasted wishes.
That's a better Aladdin. I think that's a good Aladdin.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
What is that?
Bullet would say, rub on this 3 times.
Okay, so here is the story. Somebody just asked about it over in the Volca Tire and Automotive chat room. Out of Atlanta, something most flyers probably believe would never happen, but a Delta flight from Atlanta had to turn around Friday night after a person on board shit themselves.
Ooh.
Delta confirmed that flight DL-194 from Atlanta to Barcelona had to turn back because a passenger on board had a, quote, medical issue. I've heard the sound from this. Have you guys heard it?
I have not. No, from the cockpit.
Yeah. Okay, so the
Had to
flight.
go back to Shatlanta.
How about this? Flight was 2 hours out when Business Insider reported that it had to turn back. Now, in the audio transmission from the flight deck posted on X by an aviation enthusiast, they call him here.
I love me some aviation.
The pilot said, quote, "This is a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who's had diarrhea all the way through the plane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta."
Oof.
Now,
so
the
you're
flight
2 hours in, you have 5 hours to go.
It ended up delayed about 8 hours after taking off again from Barcelona. I told you guys a couple of years ago, I got into a flight about 2 hours from Denver to Cabo, and it had to turn around.
Listen, people are saying there's videos and photos. I do not want to see them.
Well, it's just a guy scanning the aisle. Like the dude, it was just like he was.
Oh, no. He left a trail,
like,
Rockstar?
Yeah, Hansel and Gretel through the aisle.
Well, that's a bad Hansel
And
and Gretel.
Well, seriously, what do you, if you got like violent diarrhea on a flight, what do you do?
I pace, just like in this guy probably.
So was it flying out of Barcelona to Atlanta or Atlanta to
Atlanta to
Barcelona?
Barcelona. Got 2 hours out over the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Had to turn around.
I think I'd want to fight on for the next 5 hours.
I think I let the plane vote.
Yeah.
Don't you? Like, all right, we're going to take a quick
That's what
show
I
of
do.
hands.
Well, what I tell him is we're going to put you on the shitter.
Yeah.
Right. You
And
go
we've
in
got
there.
2. Well, probably more on international
Yeah, on
flight.
a big plane like
and
that.
this one's off limits, and you stay in there.
Right.
I would go show of hands. We're just going to do a vote. Do y'all want to keep going to Barcelona or turn around?
And
Let's
the flight
show of hands.
attendants, all due respect, your flights are never easy. I'm not saying that, but some of them are pretty shitty, and this was one of them. I'll need you guys to start sort of cleaning up the mess.
No, if I'm a flight attendant, I'm like, look, I'm here to serve drinks and biscotti cookies.
But
I'm not here to clean up the aisle.
That smell won't stay in that plane.
Well,
That won't
whoever
stay there.
he's with, I'm giving them towels. You
Yeah,
go pat it up,
y'all do this,
and then we'll pour a trail of liquor on it to kind of kill that smell.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lance will be like, why you pouring out the liquor?
If I'm on that plane, I mean, I think it is a vote.
I vote to go.
Yeah, I want to go. Give me the next, instead of turning around 2 hours.
That's right.
Give me the next, let's go 5 hours.
We'll fight through.
That's 3 more hours.
And then 8 hours
At some point,
delay.
I'm going to stop smelling it.
Yeah. At least get me to Europe and land short of Barcelona.
So I don't know-
At least get me on the continent.
Right. I don't know what you guys put in your carry-on bag, but I always put like an extra couple of T-shirts, an
Yeah.
extra pair of socks, some extra
Yeah.
boxers.
I'm always heavy on the
So
underwear.
I would sell this guy a pair of my boxers.
Sure.
I may donate mine.
Teach their own.
Probably. All right, that is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Buying a home, major milestone in life. Getting it right comes down to the right advice at the right time. That's why we're proud to partner with our friends at Mortgage Right, who do mortgages the right way. Call them today, 205-815-9200, or online, mortgageright.com/TNR.
Yeah, AWKAU says, great now, it smells like Jack and poop. Yeah, not as good as Jack and Coke during football season in an SEC stadium, is it? Jack doesn't make everything smell better. We're back in a moment right here on TNR.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Football season is here, and Legacy Credit Card is just what you need to manage your spending safely and wisely. Credit cards offer better consumer protection against fraud when compared to a debit card, which is linked directly to your bank account. Legacy offers rates as low as 8.9% APR on credit cards compared to major card providers who advertise rates as high as 29% APR. Look no further than Legacy. Open a credit card online in minutes at legacycreditunion.com/join. APR's annual percentage rate, rates, and offers subject to change. See website for details. Federally insured by NCUA.
Don't miss your chance to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Open 24/7, so come on in for non-stop gaming action. You'll find the latest, hottest, most exciting games around. And you'll love the fun bonuses and big jackpots. Plus, you can watch and wager on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. Your best bet for big wins is just minutes away at Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where you can be a winner too. Birmingham Racecourse Casino off I-459, exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. And don't forget about that 29-degree man-sized drafts. It's Twin Peaks at the Patton Creek Shopping Centers.
The next round brought to you by the biggest and baddest track in NASCAR, the Talladega Super Speedway. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming up. You don't want to miss it. The action kicks off Saturday, September 30th with the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, all leading up to the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs on Sunday, October the 1st. Be there to see these drivers battle for 500 miles to survive and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Again, that is TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280. Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Champy's Chicken bringing you this hour, final hour of Hydra Live in studio, waiting for LT to be finished up as well. Man, thank you so much for coming back and taking care of LT. I got a B12 shot. I think Taylor has that on the platform somewhere, me getting another needle in my arm. I'm not a big needle fan. But she makes it so easy. So we appreciate you coming by again. Great folks at Hydra Live.
Oh, absolutely. Again, 2 locations locally, one in Homewood, the newest in Greystone. There's one in Tuscaloosa that Lacey reminded me about. If you're going to Alabama, Texas, great way to pregame, get hydrated. If not, you can do it the next morning. 7 days a week, you can do it Sunday morning. Again, if you can't make it to Hydra Live, they can come to you. For more information, HydraLiveTherapy.com. Of course, mention Next Round at checkout. Save 20% off of any of their great services.
You don't like Needle in the Spoon, Rockstar song?
I do like that song, Needle and Spoon.
So you will never get addicted to heroin, right?
He thinks it's yours every time, though, Rockstar.
That's good.
Coming up on the platforms, college football here in a second, but the first episode of My Team Sucks. My Team Sucks.
Have you seen it yet?
I have, yes.
It's funny.
The talent there is Gregory Pendergast. The topic, a diehard fan's frustration watching the Florida Gators. It's on the Next Round channel when you go to Disrupt the Media YouTube. My Team Sucks. It's sort of almost adult kid vision.
A little bit, yeah.
It's got a little...
it's funny. I really didn't know what it was about until I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, got a little Elmo college football flavor.
Yeah,
it's good. It's hard to maintain a voice. Just to let you know, I almost threw up.
Episode 3 of Balls Out with Ryan Brown and Tom Luganville. Does Dabo trust his quarterback?
Let's put a little space between ball and is out.
Yeah.
Kind of made it similar. Yes.
It is out.
I know, yes.
Yeah.
But it's out, ball.
Season 2, Episode 2, Bama and Bourbon, LT and Aaron. They talk about Bama and Texas and the tangle coming up in Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide Pods there. And then the original roundtable is back, LT and Fitzy, on the Disrupt Media channel, Disrupt the Media on the YouTube channel. All that is out today. New content for you right there when we're done to go absorb that the rest of the afternoon. The show being brought to you by our friends at NASCAR. Coming back, NASCAR, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Hardy is in town. That's a little clip there of My Team Sucks right there. You're seeing that pop up. My Team Sucks.
It's quite a ride, let me go ahead and tell you.
And apparently local cable does too sometimes. My Team Sucks. Doing some talking.
I wonder how much you gave those, and I know you got to do NASCAR here. You gave those TV ratings earlier. I wonder how much of the ESPN games, that's 14.5 million subscribers on Spectrum.
My mom called me yesterday. They're Spectrum customers.
Yep.
Love their Wi-Fi, but because of the ESPN, and again, I don't think it's Spectrum's fault. I think it's the ESPN Spectrum battle.
Both. It's both.
Yeah. Negotiations on both sides. But my mom, calls me up right when I'm leaving to go play golf, and she's like, hey, can you explain to me about YouTube TV? How does it work? Should that be what I'll be getting your dad? Because he was really irritable this past week, not being able to watch the games. And I was like, So you want me to explain to you streaming television while I'm driving down the road on the phone?
Right.
Yes. Explain it to me like I'm a 70-year-old. Okay.
Okay.
No problem.
Gotcha, Ma.
Yeah. I said just try it. 7-day free trial. Try it and see if you like it.
So let me tell you this: from reading some of the industry insiders and watching some of their interviews done away,
yep,
there are a lot of people that do not think ESPN will ever come back to Spectrum. And here's why.
Wow.
And here's why. Spectrum has decided they can no longer make money in the cable providing arena, that there are just too many options now, and it is no longer profitable for them. Where they feel like they can make money is in broadband and the internet. So they're okay if you call and cancel Spectrum and go to YouTube TV, Dunaway, as long as you keep Spectrum broadband.
That's right.
That's what they're gambling on, it appears right now, and it's their last grasp.
My brother, a proud Spectrum employee. I should say that here, full disclosure there. So
yeah, well, it's not his fault, obviously.
No, it's not. So don't be mean to the guys who come to your house.
No, but I am saying there is a chance. I mean, you got to make these decisions on your own. But apparently Spectrum doesn't care if you call up and cancel because they're not making money on that front anyway. They want you to keep their broadband.
TalladegaSuperspeedway.com for those NASCAR tickets. See Hardy in concert in the full racing weekend coming up September 30th through October the 1st, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Here's Jimbo Fisher on Miami and Texas A&M this weekend. And then one thing we've got to retire. All right, we got to retire this after Jimbo talks about the game.
You've coached against Miami quite a bit. Different players, different coaches. I get all of that. But do you see a common denominator when you prepare for this team?
Athletic, strong, physical, tough, competitive. I mean, a typical Miami team, and knowing you're going down there and you're going into the Orange Bowl to go play. I mean, it's fun as heck as an opponent. I mean, if you like to be a competitor, I mean, you got to, because fans will be tough, they'll be brutal, they'll be banging on the buses, you're coming through the lot and all that good stuff. I mean, that's what gets you up, but that's part of it. But listen, the way they play and it's like they just have the same players and just switch uniforms year to year and switch the names. But I mean, always going to have great players, man. Great program.
He is impossible to understand.
He really is. I mean, that is so fast.
It is like
it's getting worse.
Yeah, it is.
You ever gone to one of those car auctions?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like a hillbilly car auction.
He really is.
We've got to retire this, in my opinion. Tell me if I'm wrong. People are now asking. I've seen a couple of debate shows and national headlines. Can Sark become the third Saban assistant to beat Nick Saban?
Yeah, I think once Kirby did it.
Once Jimbo did it.
Was it Jimbo first?
Jimbo first.
That's right.
Then Kirby.
Yeah, I think that storyline's over.
We've done it twice now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, 28-2. It's a great record, but we've done it twice now. We don't need every assistant who beats him. We don't need to keep up with him.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And by the way, he's put a lot of guys into the coaching ranks. He's going to play assistants a lot. So, I mean, just this year, he's going to get Kiffin again. He's going to get Jimbo again.
Yep.
Eventually Billy Napier, if he can survive at Florida, is going to roll around on that schedule. Here comes Sarkeesian.
Kirby again in the championship of the playoffs.
Potentially in the championship game. I mean, he's got a lot of guys that are coaching right now. He's going to run into some assistants, and I just don't know that. When one had never beaten him, it was a interesting storyline.
Right.
Now that it's two, I'm with you. I'm kind of over that one.
It's happened twice. Sark got asked about it at halftime of the LSU-Florida State game in the interview, and he made a great point. He is like, you guys bring up 28-2. Just tell me what he is against all other coaches too. I mean, you guys make a big deal about it being 28-2 against us, the guys who coach with him. He's pretty darn good against people who didn't coach with him.
Yeah,
too.
but he doesn't have that winning percentage overall.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think
not many people do.
Yeah, 28-2 is
really
crazy.
Good. Yeah.
And that would be a storyline. I agree with you guys. Multiple coaches have done it now. Retire it. But if it was 30-0,
oh yeah, no. If it had never happened, it would be brought up anytime he goes against a former assistant.
And I'd still be okay discussing it if it was just Jimbo. If it only happened with Jimbo.
Yeah.
Right. But it's been done twice now,
yeah.
and you can't be like, oh, it's only in the regular season. It's been done in the regular season. It's been done in the national championship.
That's
game.
right. Yeah.
So we've done it just about any way you can do it now. So to me, it's time to
retire.
retire.
I'm with you. That was a storyline for a little bit. You got to find some new news now. And I don't know how much they'll play it up on game day. I will be interested to see with Big Noon kickoff. There's been a ratings battle there. And Big Noon's going to be at Colorado, Nebraska, I assume. I mean, they're doing their show from there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Them being there and game day being Bama, Texas, I wonder what the ratings will look like because there's obviously a hunger for Colorado stuff,
That's right.
And they'll be right there at that game with all the Deion interviews.
See, and that show gets the benefit of all the time going into they're on site of their 11 o'clock game.
Yeah.
And they have an energy inside their stadium. They're usually on the sidelines. It feels like it's almost a national championship setup.
Yes.
As opposed to, oftentimes, like
Right.
in Tuscaloosa, it's going to end up being the quad,
Right.
Denny's Chimes, and then, it's when it's all said and done, it's still 7 hours till kickoff.
Right. Did you guys happen to see, and I wish I had sent this to Scott, I forgot to do it. Somebody caught on video, they were coming back from a break on Big Noon Kickoff, and Urban Meyer was off the set. I can't remember I do remember. It was the old boy that came over from ESPN, the gambling dude, Felica.
Yeah, Chris Felica.
Yeah, so he's on set with Rob Stone and all the rest of the crew's off set, and as they zoom the camera in, you can see Urban Meyer off to the side, and there's like this scantily clad girl, and he's just all leaned up talking to her. It looks like she might even be a dancer for one of the teams or something, like a cheerleader
Should we
costume.
start calling him Juan Carlos?
I mean, and Urban's all leaned up, just standing there talking to her. And you can barely see it as they're zooming in. And whoever sent it out was like, Urban Meyer will never not be a dirtbag. The guy's just off to the side talking up some chick.
MK's IPA, wonder how long Bullett's going to be in boot camp.
Do you know yet?
Is this like,
Hey, well, look at this. We got Bullet.
No. There it is. There's Urban Meyer. He's posted up talking to some girl all scantily clad. Good job, Scott.
That made it on the air?
Yeah, so when Fox comes back, so that's on the very left side of the screen. So when Fox comes back, Dunaway, they've got like a wide shot and they're zooming into the set, and Urban's over off to the left of the set. He's just standing there talking up some chick.
Yeah, I would tell you that if I was Urban Meyer, there's a good chance he walked off and gave a nice little earful to the producer and/or director.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, you think Shelly Meyer? You think Shelly Meyer might have been watching at home?
You guys don't believe Bullet knows he's going to boot camp? Look at this. Do you have this, Scotty? You don't have
He
it.
doesn't have
never
it.
mind.
Is he getting his head shaved? Do they shave his head at boot camp?
No, they do not.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Is boot camp like G.I. Jane, where if it's not going well for him, he can crawl his way out of a drill and hit a bell?
I'm a little nervous that Damian from Creative Dog Training might be calling me and saying,
"Come
you know
get this
what?
one."
This is it. Ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hit that bell, rookie. Go ahead, tap out. That's what I want you to do. Hit that bell. You're not made.
I remember,
you're not made for this.
So Lady Bird went to boot camp like 3.5 years ago, and she. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they sent me a video and all the dogs were laid out and she was still going.
Oh no.
Oh, how about that?
A lot of energy, huh?
That is energy. You get a lot of energy with our
Travis
friends.
Hunter dogs.
You get a lot of energy with our friends at Alabama Power as well. They offer digital tools to help you save time and energy. When you sign up for an online account, you'll gain access to tools that will let you track your energy usage, set up outage and billing alerts, pay your bills online, and so much more. Visit alabamapower.com/digital tools. alabamapower.com/digital tools to start using them today. Don't forget Disrupt the Media YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. The War Damn Pods, the Roll Tide Pods, and everything else we have over there. And again, like and subscribe right here as well for the next round. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time live. And don't forget Bud Light Game Night this Thursday night. We're out at Top Golf 5 to 7 with a live show on our video platform 6 to 7. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.